Hey everyone, I'm hanging out with V, and we're going to be going through the Chat Override Network logs that were leaked a couple of weeks ago now. And was it a couple of weeks ago? No, it was only like a week ago actually.
Yeah, a
And
couple
this,
of days.
yeah. And this is honestly, it's really gratifying, isn't it? Let's be honest. We knew these fucks were colluding. We knew it, and now we
No,
have the
we knew it.
evidence.
Yeah, we knew it back when it would happen. There was Randy Harper saying on her chat on IRC, at this point, whatever they do against me, they're fucked. If they try to accuse me of anything more, I'll just play a victim, and the media just goes into my narrative. Like they would be open about it.
Yeah. They haven't been trying to hide the fact that they're just corrupt as fuck. And yeah, we thought we'd go through. So, are you gonna read the logs, Ivy?
Sure, but let's give people some context. Maybe there's someone
Yeah.
who doesn't know what this is about.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone knows about Gamergate, right?
Well, they'll probably have known the term, but yeah, Gamergate was a consumer revolt against a corrupt games press that was desperately pushing indie games and their friends and developers, all because of ideological conformity. They were all SJWs.
Yeah, and it was also profitable for them to do so. I mean,
Yeah. That's a really good point. There are various indie game awards and things like that they all the same group of people all seem to keep winning suspiciously. There's probably a case for some sort of legal action to be taken, but no one did.
and another
Indiecade and things like that.
Another cheap tactic that the media would pull is they would make a sponsor content article, or they would promote a bad game, and they would choose a woman that was a feminist to do so. And if you would complain about the article and would point out, look, you're using sponsored content, or this game is not worth a 10.
Imagine what they called you. Just imagine it. It's the most original thing in the world.
They would call you a misogynist because you don't like the article because it's written by a woman.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
All right. So basically, people got upset, and then you had a couple of ideologues who started upping their narrative, saying that they're being oppressed, and saying that they're being harassed and they're being threatened and whatnot. And they started Patreons.
Donate to my Patreon, yeah.
Yeah, they started Patreons, and they made a lot of money. We're talking about thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. And the thing is, what's really important to note is that this is actually sort of an abuse of what Patreon's actually meant to be about. Patreon's actually meant to be for people who create content and actually produce something that people want to support, like artists, independent creators, people like me and V, incidentally.
Hello.
And it is genuinely really good for that. But Zoe Quinn didn't actually make anything, and yet she was drawing, what was it, about $4,000 a month?
4.5.
Yeah, she wasn't actually making anything. She was just running around going, I'm the victim of the people on the internet. And then people would just throw money at her.
Actually, I think she was doing something. I think she was gathering money for an indie game. Did you see the commercial to her new indie game?
I did actually. Yes, I saw it. Yeah. I saw like 5 minutes of it, and I just found it insufferable. It was
the
just
one with the horse face, right?
Oh yeah, it was just like, oh Zoe, you're so quirky for the sake of being quirky. You're just so cool, Zoe. You're just so original. No one's ever existed like you before. Fucking hell.
I didn't even know that it's a name for that, but it was so bizarre. It's
Shit.
it's something we're going to have to show people. Right, but anyway, so she started going to the United Nations. She went all to these media outlets saying that she's a woman in gaming and she's a victim and she's patient zero of Gamergate and all of that.
Yeah.
And she started her project, which is called Crash Override or something like that, right?
Yeah. The irony of it is just lost on her, I imagine. But Zoe Quinn has got a history on the internet of being a harasser, of being the sort of person who really is quite malicious, and we saw it over and over and over with her. And then she would unironically go and start something called the Crash Override Network, which is to help people, victims of cyberbullying and things like this. It's like, Zoe, you're like one of the fighting prime perpetrators of this. It's sick almost, just stop pretending. And
I don't know. I don't know if you recall. I think it was on your channel. There was another project similar to hers, which would have made harassers public on the internet, basically. And it was done by a black woman as well.
Yeah, no, I know the thing you're talking about. It's kind of like a snitch's Facebook or something, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I was in disagreement with the project, but it was very surprising to see how against it Zoe Quinn was.
That's the thing, right? The idea of the project was pretty fucking awful anyway. And then Zoe Quinn came out against it, but she wasn't against it in principle. She was against it because these people were creating like a separate power structure to her, and she was obviously viewing them as competition. And she wanted them to sort of bend the knee, and they refused to. And yeah, it just kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah, she started harassing them. She started getting a lot of death threats and a lot of like spam and DDoSing their website and whatnot. But the interesting thing is that she defended Gamergate then, because like the reason she was against it is that sometimes harassers are people too, and you shouldn't make them public. Like literally.
Oh wow, that's so thoughtful of you, Zoe. I can't believe it. Sometimes harassers are people too. Yeah. So when you're harassing, you're a person. When we're harassing, we're not. I get it, And when are we harassing? Whenever you say we're harassing, right? Okay, I understand. This isn't a case of having your cake and eating it too or anything. Sorry, I'm pissed off about it.
Well, if you want to get really pissed off about it, remember that she harassed Wizard Chan. Now, a lot of people don't know what Wizard Chan is, right?
No, before you start, right, this is possibly the most pathetic thing on the internet. And I'm not saying that to try and hurt their feelings or anything. I mean, they are obviously, like, sad. And
they are sad. And the only people harassing them is, like, Zoe Quinn and Ben Kuchera. Like, not even 4chan, okay? When you say not even 4chan...
Too pathetic for 4chan to want to bother with.
Yeah. They're basically a website for men who are single, and it's like their 30s, their 40s, men who never managed to get a girlfriend, and they're still virgins. Yeah. And these men are very depressed, obviously, right? And they don't have, like... any malintent or anything. They just want to talk with each other, to share experiences, right? They're not evil or anything like that. They just don't understand why society pretty much shunned them. And there's even a number there for suicide hotline if you're on that website, right? So they don't want to bother anyone. They just want to talk with themselves. That's it. And you had like Zoe Quinn going in there and making fun of them. And Ben Kuchera, a writer at Polygon, made an entire article mocking them and shaming them and whatnot. And it's like, whatever happened to not shaming people for their sexual desires?
Whatever happened to punching up?
Yeah,
because you're not punching up when you're attacking these people. These people, honestly, I don't want to be mean, but they're losers. They're not successful businessmen or something. They're people who aren't getting along in life, and you should really be sympathetic, or at least just treat them like people who aren't being twats. But obviously Zoe Quinn and the rest couldn't do that.
Yeah, and that's one of the most pathetic things that I have ever seen. I mean, why would you attack a website that's pretty much for people who are depressed? Some of them might have anxiety or social issues that they really can't get a girlfriend because they're very shy, or
especially when you claim to be the sort of person who cares about social issues.
Yeah,
and you claim that you give a fuck about all of this. And it just turns out it's just a power play. It's just an excuse for you to be a dick to someone.
Yeah, it's like, but it's not politically correct to care about, men who are virgins in their 40s. I mean, no one gives a shit about them. But if it's a woman who couldn't find a girlfriend and she's with 10 cats, oh my God, that's so horrible. Why are people so mean to you?
Why is the patriarchy doing this to you?
Yeah. And it's this double standard that pisses me off. Where if a woman goes like, "Oh, I'm what's the name for when they don't want to fuck?" Because they have a name for it, asexual.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm asexual. It's like, no, you're not. Okay, unless you're like chemically castrated.
Yeah, you're just surrounded by a bunch of beta men you don't want to have sex with. Just
Yeah,
saying.
pretty much.
It's fine, it's fine. It's not. There's nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't want to have sex with any of these, fucking losers either. I really don't blame you. It's okay to not want to fuck any of these guys. They're
I see. So Sargon Avocado would only have sex with an alpha male. Like,
yeah,
it has to be a
totally.
man.
I would only fuck Devin Trace in the ass. I would never fuck David Gallant in the ass. That's what I'm saying. I've got standards. Come on.
Okay. Well, I'm starting to wonder what happened when Milo was in Britain. But anyway, right. So let's read the last.
I may have fucked him in the ass. Who knows?
There is this thing called Secret Gamer Girl. Okay. And also, like, he likes black people, so you do have some black heritage. I see.
I think he's more aesthetic though. I mean, I'm not really black enough, to be honest.
So it's not an ideological thing.
No, I think it's just a preference.
Right, is the actual black cock, not the ideology behind the black cock. I see.
I think so.
He does not care about the cultural history of the dick.
No, exactly. Look, I try to sound. Look, I'm trans black, mate. I've adopted black culture as my own. Hashtag Black Lives Matter, and he didn't care. He just wouldn't listen, and I was like, okay, fine.
So I'm reading this, right? I don't know who Secret Gamer Girl is. Maybe it's Zoe Quinn.
Oh, hang on. No, we can find out. Hang on.
There are ways.
No, it's a list on the thing. Secret Gamer Girl. That's actually someone called @SecretGamerGirl. I think she's just I'm just going to go to a variant of the reason I've got you screen sharing is so I can look all these people up on like various other browsers, because obviously they all use Blockbots.
The funny thing is that we have like Verindir Jubal, we have Remy, and we have like all these people who said they're not colluding, but that they're not talking with each other. They're just like sensible individuals who are outraged over what happened to Zoe Quinn. We have Alex Lifshitz, which was Zoe Quinn's boyfriend, and he was also a moderator on 4chan.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were logs disappearing from 4chan for no reason. It's like you would post something and it would get deleted.
So I'm looking at Secret Gamer Girl's Twitter feed, and she's insanely regressive. So she is just an SJW. Well, not just. I'm sure she's other things, but an SJW. But she is also a diehard SJW. Sorry, yeah, carry on.
I remember when there was like a shooting, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, and I didn't know about social justice warriors back then, right? But all of a sudden, like all the anti-Gamergaters stopped focusing on Gamergate, and they were talking about that shooting.
Which one?
Like I really don't recall. I think it was the when Anita Sarkeesian posted, "It's only white men who are responsible for school shootings," and all of them were like only talking about that. Oh, and the Ferguson riots when they happened, all of them were talking about Ferguson.
Only
like,
white men participating in Ferguson riots.
Just not a single peep about Gamergate. And like people who were from Gamergate would also talk about Ferguson, but they would say what they have to say and move on. Yeah. But these people were fixated. They had like laser vision on Ferguson. and it lasted for like a week. Like Gamergate had no opposition for a week, and then they just switched and went, oh yeah, Gamergate is bad. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, now that narrative has been been played out.
Yeah, it's like they just jump on the most popular thing. It's like what is popular right now? Ferguson. What is popular? Gamergate. Like they don't have mind of their own to just talk about different topics.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the problems that everyone has with them, isn't it? It's the fact that if you speak to one of them, then you've effectively spoken to all of them.
Yeah, pretty much like stormtroopers.
Yeah, exactly. The positions are incredibly consistent, and I mean, I suppose there's something to be said for that, but they're not very exciting, are they?
Notice when there's something that goes on for the first time, like people found out that Brianna Wood didn't left her house, or like something new, something brand new. Mm-hmm. They really don't know what to say, and they're like offering different opinions and blah blah blah. And then when the narrative sets in, like when they agree with the narrative, they just stick to it. Like all of a sudden.
Yeah. What they're trying to do is invent a narrative. That's what they're trying to do. They sit there calling all the throwing all the stuff out, desperately hoping that something sticks.
Yeah, and when something sticks, they just all sit with that.
Yeah. But yeah, uncritically. No. We have the narrative now. It is known, Khaleesi.
Yeah. So anyway, they're talking, and I really don't know what they're talking about here, because it's Secret Gamer Girl. Not trusting her over having been in Gamergate is uncalled for. Not trusting her because she is real quick to serious anger at people is kind of justifiable. I think they're talking about Zoe Quinn, so because she is anger at people is justifiable. Okay.
Really, that's interesting because she's in this chat.
I'm not sure in these particular logs.
Oh, she is. She's she's Dr. Internet PhD because she's so quirky, guys. She's so quirky and alternative. No, seriously, you just don't know how quirky and alternative Zoe Quinn is. She's like the quirkiest and most alternative person in the world. So there is literally no one like her. She's amazing. She's a victim. Donate to her Patreon.
She's like Christy Winter. She would never tell a lie. Abraham Lincoln, Zoe Quinn, and Christy Winter.
They are all academic. Would you mind not slandering her?
I'm sorry. No, seriously. I really am.
How would you better be?
No, I should know my betters. I haven't got
exactly. Mate, she is a social scientist. You will listen and believe.
Yeah. It has science in it, so.
It has science in it.
Scientology.
What would you know about science? I don't care about your medical training, show.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. No, I know who they are talking about. We're going to find out later on. They say that this woman they're talking about gone harassment, full harassment. There's different levels of harassment. There's like semi-harassment, half semi, and then there's full harassment. All of the most awesome people are here, says Remy.
What?
Right. So they're talking about. Damn it! I can't really find it because they give the name. Oh, and look at the amount of puns they make. Welcome to the Illuminati.
Oh, that's so clever.
It is.
God, that's so funny.
It is.
This is amusing as well because it's got Ian Miles Chung in it, and this is from when he was part of the dark side before he was like, you know what, this is actually horrible. I'm really sorry.
Honestly, Ian Chung doesn't really strike as insane as the rest of them.
He's not. He's actually pretty fucking normal. He's actually pretty good. I really think that he just got caught in the wrong group.
Yeah.
And he got caught in a group of people who basically had monopolized the industry. And he felt that he had to do what they did because, I mean, otherwise he'd be an outcast.
Pretty much. And they're acting like faggots here. It's like Verinder Jubal Hagzian.
God, right. Verinder Jubal, for anyone who doesn't know, he's a very, very desperate Sikh man who is, I mean, he's probably a visitor of Wizard Chan.
He has Sailor Moon dolls and
he's not exactly popular with the ladies, and he is an incredibly beta social justice warrior, which means he's even less popular than he otherwise would be with the ladies. And he obviously doesn't know what.
He's very popular with the Dakimakura. Do you know what a Dakimakura is?
Or is this some sort of gypsy magic?
No. A Dakimakura is a pillow that has an anime girl on it, right? So it's made for you to hug.
Degeneracy is what you're saying.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not making it up. He actually has a picture with a Dakimakura.
I believe you. I totally believe he is the sort of person who has a Japanese waifu pillow or whatever it is. Yeah. I've got no doubt. I mean, like, if you were to ask me who is the most likely person on earth to own one, he would be my first choice. So, you know, I'm totally with you when you say he's a fucking loser.
Right, and then they're talking about how horrible it is because, they're talking about Grace. And I think they're talking about Grace Lynn, which is a woman who got swatted.
Okay.
And it was blamed on Gamergate, but turns out that no. It was someone else that swatted her. So basically, they're eating their own right now. We are witnessing. Yeah, we are witnessing the cannibal in its own environment.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So what they're talking about Grace Lynn, and what's the general thrust of what they're saying?
Well, they're saying that basically she's harassing people because she's suffering.
What?
Yeah. Like, it's horrible that she has a lot going on. Suffering. And I want her to get better and be able to better for herself and others. She's clearly suffering tremendously.
How noble of them. I didn't know they cared.
No, but it's interesting that if you're suffering, you can harass people.
Yeah, well, but this is the Marxism, isn't it? You know, they think that the suffering people are like an oppressed class or something. It's okay for the oppressed to hate their oppressors. So,
yeah, but you need to suffer from the righteous reasons, right? It's not like
you can't suffer from like man problems. That's not
or if you're a Christian and are suffering from Muslim oppression, that's retarded.
No, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. It's never happened in all of human history. Basically, stop being an Islamophobe.
Yeah, you need to suffer from the proper things.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to someone from Romania who literally knows the history of Muslims in Europe because it's their history of their country, but it never happens. So don't be such a bigot, B.
Yeah. So I'll support her when she's on the up and shake my head and bummed when she isn't, but never go after her. I'll be kind, but I can't trust her. I have my God, like the level of feelings in this shit, like so many fifis.
It's like weird paranoid Machiavellian scheming as well. It's like, what do you mean you wouldn't trust her? So don't trust her. Who cares? Why do you have to trust this person?
And someone is saying she has done real harm to a lot of people, and I can't totally ignore that either.
Oh, how generous they are, how selfless they are. They're so incredible people. Come on.
Yeah, people staying on the internet and talking about, like another person they never seen before, and it's like, oh well, I can't ignore that because she's done harm to other people. Jesus Christ.
Just look, they're all stunning and brave. Stop being a misogynist.
And the Ian Chang actually says all that shit about John McIntosh being the puppet master behind Anita Sarkeesian is Grace's doing too.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's the fact that McIntosh is obviously obviously look like the puppet master behind Sarkeesian.
The fact that it's on his job application, like screenwriter or script writer.
Yeah. For Feminist Freaks, it was anyway before he got canned.
And it's like everywhere you go, you see Anita Sarkeesian reading from a prompter.
Yeah. Who writes the stuff on the prompter, do you think? Oh, right. That's right. McIntosh.
Like when the nudes of me leaked. Oh, this is Zoe Quinn. The nudes of her is like
the quote-unquote leak. Just, okay, for anyone who didn't know what was going on during Gamergate, right? Zoe Quinn had a previous history as a nude model. Some sort of Suicide Girls thing or something like that. And she sold her pictures on the internet for money. And apparently this is what constitutes quote-unquote nude leaks. So, yeah.
I mean, basically, she consented to them and she sold the picture. So
it should be her job. And there was a story that someone from her past had posted on Facebook going, look, I worked with Zoe Quinn as a nude model, and she was an awful, awful person to work with. And it looks like nothing's changed.
Yeah. The person said that she paid the trip in order to go to Zoe Quinn, which wasn't that cheap. And she spent there like a couple of days in her house, and there was like another guy in the house as well that wasn't supposed to be there. So eventually she takes the pictures, and when she comes home, Zoe Quinn says like, no, you're not allowed to post them. So basically, like, this girl was conned out of her money, like the trip, paying for the equipment, the car, taking the pictures, declining other projects in order to do that one, and so forth.
Yeah, honestly, she's just got a history of being a twat to people.
She has a history of going to the United Nations. That's what she did.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Like when the nudes of me leaked, she was one of the people I could talk about sex, work, and development, and doing both. So blech to everything.
Did she consider like sleeping with journalists to be part of her sex work career or something?
Yeah, probably.
She's just crossing the streams with that in her game development career, obviously.
You know what really shocks me about it, and that no one actually spoke about it? Oh. It's like the game journalist actually tweeted out, who here hasn't slept with a female game developer or a PR person?
No, that wasn't in the tweet. See, now this is the second reason for us going through these logs. These people have been caught conspiring and colluding before. They had a secret network for games journalists called what was it, Game Journal Pros?
Yeah, Game Journal Pro.
Yeah, and and this is one of the things that one of the reporters, one of the journalists, had said in this chat of the private emails. They were just like, "What's the big deal? Who hasn't slept with a game developer?" It's like, there we go. This is
and I'm
the
like,
problem with the industry, you dummies.
all right, Jesus Christ, how many women did you fuck, you sick, twisted shit? I mean, this is power abuse. You know, you're a game developer and you're willing to give them publicity if they fuck with you. You know, I mean, what happens when there aren't enough male game journalists to go around? You know, what about the men who are game developers? Are they supposed to fuck female journalists? Or?
Well, honestly, it really does show you the motivation for wanting to get more women into game development, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But suddenly it makes a lot of sense. Of course they want that.
Yeah, if you're a game journalist and you get to fuck female game developers, you will want more women in gaming.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look at the, not necessarily the quantity, but look at the quality that they have in right now. Look at Zoe Quinn. You know, this is what they have to put up with.
Zoe Quinn's not like the worst looking woman on earth or anything. You know, I can see her being able to manipulate friendless beta males who have never touched a woman's breast or something. I can see that.
Anyway, she goes like blech to the world, blech to everything, blech to a world being a trash heap that makes people suffer and lash out.
The world is evil. It's just evil.
Yeah, the amount of care they have for other people.
It's amazing. They're fucking saints, basically. Basically, we are the evil people of the internet because we're giving these pure and holy people such a hard time.
Ian Chung, do we get to wear secret Illuminati badges and put Freemasonish codes at the side of our blogs?
Right. The irony of him saying that, right, is that they actually do that. I mean, they're literally here conspiring as if they're some sort of fucking gaming Illuminati. But they also do have a code. They have codes that they can alert people with, and it's the language they use. It's the words they use. They will, you know, if they call someone a misogynist, everyone knows they're dealing with an SJW. You know, it's a way of signaling to the wider community your intentions.
Yeah, no, people were saying that, look, the feminists are colluding, and Ian, who is here with the feminists colluding, is saying, oh, do we get to wear a badge and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like, well, I mean, it's nice to see Gamergate totally vindicated like this. Yeah. It really is.
I'm just saying, as long as we're here colluding, we may as well go all the way. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Literally, I love it. I love it. Sorry, carry on. It's just, this is amazing.
Gamergate is saying, by the way, you guys are colluding, right?
Yeah.
And here you have the guys actually colluding, and
they were so vehement about, no, we're not. Of course we're not. You're just misogynist. Yeah, yeah.
No, but it's funny that even when they are colluding, they don't believe it. It's like we're not really here colluding. We're just joking, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, it just it's not, honestly. This is actually fucking hilarious to get. Do we know who leaked these? How we got them?
No, it was 4chan, I think.
Oh, that's the thing. You know, like I'm glad that 4chan exists sometimes. I really am.
Or 8chan.
8chan, yeah. The anons on the chans, you know, whoever you are, God fucking speed. You've done a great service to Gamergate. Well done.
And then Zoe Quinn is like, I was hoping for Vampire's Kiss personally, and Secret Gamer Girl goes, I'm a vampire, I'm a vampire, I'm a vampire. Sorry, reflex.
What?
This is something that should expect like kids to do, like 14, 16 years old, you know?
Yeah. This might be some sort of inside joke though, so.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. Anyway, Karen.
8chan dug up stuff because they're half-assed at any doxing, and then Sargon pushed it out there. This is from Alex Lifshitz.
Oh, Alex, I think he particularly hates me. It's wonderful.
So they're talking about Sargon, who is pushing shit out there.
I am. I'm pushing shit out.
You're pushing shit.
Alex, you make me sound constipated, mate. I have a perfectly balanced diet. I have no problems.
She's killed before. She will kill again. An idiot types into an 8chan board. He then moves on to another where he talks about the location of his bug out bag and escape plan and Bitcoin stockpile. What I really like about this thing is that people were saying Zoe Quinn does not read 8chan. And in fact, she was actually reading 8chan. I mean, even here, she is saying that she is reading 8chan.
Yeah, and there was a photo of her and Lifshitz posting shit on 8chan to try and stir things up.
Obviously.
But
you know what's scary? Sargon and King of Poles are like the moderates of Gamergate.
Yeah. Yeah, Ian, I'm reading that. Don't worry, man. I know that you're gonna be like, shit. I'm so sorry. Don't worry.
I don't know about that. I will relish getting Sargon's pattern investigated, but that's way down the line.
Come investigate me, lift shit.
Getting your Patreon investigated.
Yeah, they did. Nothing happened.
Alex Lifshitz wanted to get your Patreon investigated.
Yeah, but nothing happened because I'm not doing anything illegal or that breaks their term of service. I emailed them the other day because people like, for the ARC server, you should start like a Patreon or something for the ARC server. I was like, I don't know if I can have two. So I emailed them to find out. Well, of course you can have two. You can have as many as you want. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, you can be a person having different Patreons for different things. I mean,
yeah.
If I would start a new video series, a YouTube series where I teach people medicine, of course I will start a new Patreon, you know, because I don't want the talks that I have about Jews and niggers to conflict with the serious academic studies that I would talk about medicine.
Yeah.
I don't talk about Jews and niggers, by the way. It was a joke.
Nice that you have to point that out.
Yeah, just in case Alex Lifshitz is watching, he doesn't.
Alex, don't get my Patreon invested.
He keeps a pile of Bitcoin in a duffel bag tethered to the bottom of a lake, hoping Bitcoin doesn't wet. Anyway, I'd say the closest Gamergate has got to moderates is the swarm of 14-year-olds who are absolutely oblivious to the fact that you can cause real harm to people over the internet.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is this woman discovered the I want to punch you button where you can click a button on the keyboard and you punch someone in real life on the other side of a computer? Because I want to use that in League of Legends, you know? When there's a guy on my team who fucks up, press the punch you in the face button. And
in the face, yeah.
You know the only way that you can harm someone over the internet?
Hacking into the computer and deleting something?
No. Getting them fired. And it's only the social justice warriors who do this shit.
That's true.
Like that is a legitimately way that you can hurt someone over the internet.
Yeah.
Or getting their Patreons investigated in the hopes that they will lose their income.
Yeah, there is also that.
Because that's what they wanted to do. They weren't afraid you were breaking any rules. They were hoping for it. They were praying, please let his Patreon be not in order. And then the guys at Patreon are like, holy shit, Carl, he makes us like 10,000 pounds a month. Like, no. No, he's perfectly okay. He can talk about whatever.
I love that they're just the way that they think they've got this power. They think they're so fucking important, don't they?
But they are, mate. Like, Zoe Quinn did change the Patreon's terms of conduct.
That's true.
She went to the United Nations, and to the Senate.
That's true. Yeah. I'm not saying they have no power or anything like that, but just they just seem to have this impression of themselves.
I think it's because they have a lot of connection with journalists. You know, apparently you fuck a journalist, you fuck them all, or something like that. I don't know. She went to The Guardian. She went to BBC. She went to MSNBC. She went to CBC. I think like Fox News is the only one that missed.
Honestly, I'm genuinely annoyed that the conservative media didn't investigate and at least give some other interpretation of this. You know, you'd think they'd be interested at least in finding out what the fucking annoying liberals are going on about.
Mate, Fox News missed a lot of viewers. Like, if there were so many gamers passionate about this, if Fox News would have made like a fair, balanced, report about Gamergate, holy shit, like they would get so many viewers, so many people watching.
This is why Breitbart has done so well. This was a great, step up for them, something for them to cover that really mattered to people. And I can see why they cover it. I can see why they decided this is important,
Yeah. I honestly feel like some sort of parental warning should have gone out of, are your children talking on a Chan site? No, Remy, if that was the case, your mom would have taken them away from the computer. Go look at my tweets from September. I hope the new TOS stuff. So they're talking about remaking the terms of service for Patreon here. I hope the new TOS stuff goes through, because the very first thing I'm going to do is compile a very long list of all the harassment Thunderfoot as engaged in and supported, and then send it to Patreon.
Wow. Thunderfoot
Like
gets stopped in as well.
What they're talking here is to make Patreon change its terms of service in such a way that they will get people like you and Thunderfoot pushed off of Patreon and, hopefully lose their income.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's bloody aggressive. That's people going after other people's income is a bloody aggressive thing to do.
That's actually hurting someone over the internet.
Yeah,
that's the only way you can hurt someone over the internet. That or give them a virus, like you said.
Yeah, it's really raising the stakes, and they do, also on purpose. They know what they're doing.
I mean, being called a cunt over the internet, feelings, blah blah blah. You get over it. Like the next day, you get over it. Like losing your income is something that it's going to affect you for months until you find a new job. And
I don't think you're really considering my feels. So
yeah,
think about what you're saying, because my feels are way important than your money, because my daddy is a billionaire. Oh no, wait, that's Alex Lifshitz.
His daddy is actually a billionaire?
Well, he's certainly a multi-millionaire. He works for what was the name of it? He worked, honestly, his dad's like an arms dealer or something. I can't remember what it was. It was honestly a fucking big deal, and it was just like, Jesus, Lifshitz. No wonder you can afford to go traveling around the world on your meager fucking salary.
He's an arms dealer?
Yeah, hang on, let me
Jesus Christ.
But
by the way, speaking about guns, did you see the protest that students at the university did to ban guns off of campus? And they brought dildos and vibrators and
yeah.
Anyway, why do you find that?
No, it is the GARE group. And the GARE group is a fucking big deal. They own loads of companies and all this sort of stuff, like Power Technologies Inc. and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, these are not like small time. And his father is the president of it.
Wait, all of the important social justice warriors are rich as fuck. I mean, I read an article the other day from Washington Post, and it was like this oppressed women who were talking about how they would drink like 4 glasses of wine from restaurants a day. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, who can afford that shit?
Yeah, it's nice that you've got the luxury to be able to do that.
Yeah, and then she was talking about like she got drunk and she went to the hotel swimming pool and started splashing around, screeching. And I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, I can totally see how oppressed you are.
Yeah, life has been so tough to you.
Well, I need to send you the article. I think it might make This Week in Stupid. She says that alcohol is the oil that grinds women's wheels and makes them purr in order to cope with the sexist society.
She's saying women are alcoholics?
Yes.
Fucking hell,
that's why women drink, to cope with sexism.
Yeah, because women just they're just really fucking disturbed, I guess. I mean,
yeah, and this is on the Washington Post. I'm not talking like a random newspaper or feministic. No, it's like a respectable news outlet.
Oh, that's them, isn't it? I mean, that's what they think. That's what they do. That's what they're going to act like.
Yeah. Anyway, what are your Twitter accounts anyway? I'm not familiar with your Skype handles. Are they going to dox themselves here? Does your child look like he is growing into someone who will someday be banned from a Chuck E. Cheese? Check their browser history. So they're talking about, Zoe Quinn is talking about like monitor everything that your kid does. Like have these bad places that are ideologically against her, like 4chan, 8chan, and if your kid goes there, get him off of the computer.
Yeah, I'm just... Go through that little chat afterwards. It's amazing.
Oh my god. Is your child talking to a pedophile? Is your child talking to a white supremacist?
Ironically, the anti-Gamergate side, Ian Miles Chung used to be a white supremacist. He's from like the Philippines or something. And Sarah Butts is a pedophile. So yeah.
Is your child chatting with Mike Cernovich?
Yeah, a bodybuilding lawyer. What an evil guy.
Well, he wanted to take down Gawker, so heaven forbid. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, what a terrible man.
he tinkered with the powers that be. You know,
Yeah, dun dun dun.
he was punching down there.
Oh, poor Gawker. They just can't get a break, can they?
Yeah, if you guys don't remember, there was this guy at Gawker. What was his name? Sam Bindle, I think.
Yep.
Who during Gamergate he said that geeks need. Gamergate taught us what we already knew. Geeks need to be punched into submission.
Yeah. Bring back bullying.
Bring back bullying. And Mike Cernovich went like, okay, you know,
1v1 the IRL.
yeah, let's have a fight in real life. You know, I'm going to donate like $10,000 for charity of your choice if you come down in a ring and you have a boxing match with me.
Biddle pissed his pants, obviously.
He pissed his pants. Yeah. He was like, Sam is advocating for violence. It's like,
run,
no.
Run.
No, this is a contact sport, okay?
Yeah. Stop being a pussy, man. Just you were the one who was like, you know, talking smack on the internet, thinking you're a big man. Go on, impress us. We're waiting.
You know, the most polite people in the world are the British people, you know, and they're the ones who invented this shit. It's like, put up your dukes, mate. Put up your dukes. There's nothing violent about this. It's
exactly. Honestly, you know,
it's very gentlemanly. You know,
it is. It's totally gentlemanly.
Until you see like, did you actually see like the first boxing matches, the ones that we have footage of?
I haven't actually, no.
They weren't wearing gloves, so a boxing match could take 12 hours.
Yeah, but the gloves aren't for like the protection of the other person, though, are they?
Yeah. And if you look at how the people looked after a boxing match, Jesus Christ, they were covered in blood, from head to toe. Broken knuckles, broken teeth. You know, it's definitely not very gentlemanly.
Fucking hell.
Right. So then they go on and it says, is your child drinking Gatorade?
I don't know what that is. I'm not American.
No. It's Gamergate, right? So they
oh, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Gators and Gatorade. Is it like, are they big influence?
No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I missed the pun. Yeah.
You missed the pun now.
Yeah, mate, I forgot that these people do nothing but childish puns. So
has your child been signing up for email notifications about orgies? What is it with Zoe Quinn taking everything to such
what's
places,
supposed to email notifications about orgies? Why would she say that?
Yeah, kids and orgies. I'm just, you know, this is the kind of woman that's talking about morality and.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's supposed to be a reference to something else, but it doesn't mean anything to me.
Here's the thing, right? I don't mind jokes. Like you can joke whatever you want, but these people, they're so concerned about jokes and. What if a kid is looking this who was also at an actual orgy? Huh? What if, Zoe? What if?
Yeah, Zoe. What if?
What if? With the 14 and under crowd gone, Gamergate is going to be reduced to a handful of YouTubers. Well, what's wrong with the 14 and under crowd? I just don't understand. They're gamers, right?
More to the point, did they think we wanted it to go on forever?
They probably. Well, I'm pretty sure Varela did.
Well, yeah, Varelo obviously did. Don't worry about that. For anyone who doesn't know who Varelo is, literally not worth your time.
No, but I just want to say this: when Gamergate started, it was like left wingers, right wingers, feminists. There were even like gay people, trans people, right? All these people were really pissed off against the media, and now like the only people that are in Gamergate are outright as fuck.
They're literally clinging on to it, and it's like, look, to be fair, mate, it's over. You know, it had a good run, and it did do quite a lot. It achieved a lot of change, actually. But you know, you've got to learn to, you know, be able to hang up the hat at some point.
So she's basically like complaining that there's a lot of underage people in Gamergate, but okay, they're gamers, right? And they're upset on the gaming media. So yeah, of course, you know, underage kids still do ad clicks for websites. They still go on websites and they still give them money. So they're still the consumers. And you're calling them sexist, misogynistic. You're calling them pedophiles. You're calling them worse than ISIS. Like, this is what pisses me off, right? These people believe that everyone in Gamergate is under 14. And they call them like the most horrible things you can call a human person.
Yeah. And it's like, would you really treat a kid that way?
Yeah.
What sort of person are you to do this?
there's got to be some really good graphic designers who can put together pretty infographics warning parents about 4chan culture. Like the thing which I don't understand, they have a 4chan moderator in this chat,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about like getting more people off of 4chan.
Who's the 4chan moderator?
Alex Lifshitz.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he was like what janitor, or what do they call them there?
Oh, I don't know what they call him. I don't go on 4chan,
Yeah.
but I didn't know he was a moderator for it.
Well, he had
Yeah,
powers
well,
over
yeah.
boards, so yeah.
Yeah, he probably did have some connections.
And then Verandir says, I could become a YouTuber and become cool. No, you can't. No. No, Verandir, no.
Oh, Verenda, you could become... no, don't listen to V. You could become totally cool, mate.
No.
You pursue your dreams.
Mate, I have a speech impediment. I have a horrible accent. You can't go worse than me, right? And I'm telling you, he can't.
Such a meanie.
Yeah, like maybe like he could go viral because of like that guy who were like, leave Britney alone, leave it alone. You know, maybe that kind of.
Yeah, that's well. Right, okay. So Verandir is a Sikh man, and he is.
Hold on, I'll show people who Verandir is.
Yeah, he's a very nice chap. But because he's brown-skinned, when a terrorist attack happened, someone decided to Photoshop him. He had a picture of him holding an iPad. Do you want to find that picture? He is a nice guy, except he's a total annoying SJW, and he hates people if he feels justified for it.
He hates white people, man.
Yeah, he does.
Like, the most disgusting things about white people can be found on his.
He genuinely does.
On his Twitter, right? This is the lad we're talking about. I mean, look at him. Imagine him making YouTube videos every morning.
Look how thirsty he is.
Right. This is his passion, right? He likes this kids show. But, look how many times.
Now I feel like we're
saying
laughing at Wizard Chan. Look at this fucking complete loser.
Mate,
but have a look. Find the meme of him dressed as a suicide bomber and the one before. It's mean, but it's really funny. And shame on you, 4chan, for doing this. Shame on you.
Hey, I will talk about it a bit because first I want to talk it. First I want to find it right. So this. You know, like the most funny thing is, well, funny.
Not get into like the Daily Mail or something.
You know, the most. I'm not going to say funny. The most horrible thing is that after 9/11, it wasn't the Muslims who got beaten. It was the Sikh communities that got beaten because they look like Muslims.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, the Muslims actually wear turbans. I don't think they do they?
I think they do. I don't know.
I don't think I don't think they actually wear turbans. I think it's something else. It's just not a million miles away from a turban, and people are stupid.
But the reason this is funny as hell, and no one got the point of it, is not because of Verandir. You know, the media took this picture without fact checking. Like they just took this picture without any fact check whatsoever. You know, without trying to contact the guy or anything like that. And they posted it on the article. It was like big mass media outlets that did this.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that this went along with his name everywhere. You know,
I mean, they could literally contact the guy. They could at least fact check. It's like go on his Twitter. Like it takes 2 seconds to do this. You know, like you are using something which is going to potentially ruin someone's life.
Yeah.
And
it is important that we know that he is a very nice man. He genuinely is a very nice guy. He's not ever going to blow anything up. I'm certain of it.
Well, the only thing he's going to blow up is his Dakimakura. Man, I mean, look at this, Sargon. Wouldn't you want to be there? Wouldn't you want to be next to him to give the guy some cuddles?
Oh, look! He looks adorable. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like you want
Verandir, buddy, I'll give you a cuddle.
Yeah, just give him a cuddle and say that he's safe.
I'll do it. Yeah, everything will be okay. We'll have a cuddle, buddy. I know I'm a white person. If you can get past that, if you can get past my whiteness, then we can definitely cuddle.
Mate, like the thing is now pathological. Why is he?
Okay. Let's carry on with the thing.
Yeah, sure.
Verandir's fetishes are weird.
Last question, and I'm carrying on. Why is he posting the same shit like 3 or 4 times in a row? This is something that, like, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm okay. No,
I have no idea.
I'm going to like compile 10 gigabytes of Sailor Moon things and give it to him so he can have more diversity.
Yeah, they were always white people, though, weren't they, Verandir?
I could become a YouTuber and become cool, says Verandir. I spotted myself in several conspiracy theories today, says Ian Shang. They all
say,
seem...
they're conspiring.
Yeah, they're conspiring right now.
They're literally conspiring right now. It's like, oh, I saw myself in the conspiracy. Well, it must have been somewhat on point then.
I think he probably found the conspiracy that men are making women down and it's society sexist, like that kind of conspiracy, you know, the patriarchy. And
well, he'd almost certainly be part of that, wouldn't he, as a man?
Notably, in one that contained me, John McIntosh, and Anita Sarkeesian about how we are pro-censorship.
You are pro-censorship.
How is this a conspiracy theory? Like,
A, that's your opinion. It's not a conspiracy theory, but B, you are pro-censorship. I mean, look, Anita is literally asking for censorship sometimes.
Yeah, like a conspiracy theory is like they, who, the patriarchy, you know, but who are they? Them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's the conspiracy. It's like you don't know. It's like a group of people who are like working in the shadows and they're like pulling the strings.
We're literally telling you are conspiring, and they're like, yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. It's like, no. What? No, we're pointing at you. We're accusing you, and now we have proof because we knew it was happening. You fucks.
Yeah, I mean, if you go like X, Y, and Z have done this, you know, it's not a conspiracy theory. Yeah, you know, it's an accusation.
Even if they're actually conspiring.
I literally want to ban games, which is funny because there are games from Japan now that are being banned in the West. So
I can believe it.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't know if Ian Shang maybe like. The thing is, they're not pro-censorship, but they're definitely against the type of games they don't like. You know, in their perfect world, there would be censorship.
Yeah, but I think they would deliberately stop these games from existing if they could.
Yeah, they would like have another committee. You'd have like the SRAB, and then you'd have like the feminist committee, which would analyze to see if the games are appropriate, if they're culturally Marxist enough to be sent to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what they said about Suicide Squad?
No, actually. What did they say?
The critics, I mean. It fetishizes gun culture. And it's gun worship. Sorry, this is how they call it. It's gun worship.
That's a really astute observation. I mean, that's... duh. Like, every action film that's ever been made, practically. Like, what... That's like saying, well, people died in it.
Yeah, it's gun worship and it's sexist. This is why it's bad.
Oh, that's so silly. Okay, carry on.
And one of them apparently is really happy because he got one of his tweets retweeted by Anita Sarkeesian.
I see. She's a legend to them.
It's like, yeah, it's like God, like Jesus himself, you know, retweeted one of my tweets.
Do you remember? Right, okay, Gamergazi is the Reddit forum that they use to talk to each other in public. And do you remember the picture they had for their header?
Yes, it was Anita Sarkeesian with a halo.
Yes, it was.
The only thing missing was her holding baby Jesus in her arms.
Honestly, can you Google it, man? See if you can find it, because it's just, I mean, it's literally deifying her, and it's like, oh my God, what is wrong with you people?
No, the funny thing is that the picture was made as a mockery, but they actually took it and
they were like, yeah, we love this.
Yeah. Is this? Wow, nice Photoshop.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll save that for later, says V. I thought we'd be able to find it quite easily.
Hold on, let me try something else.
Oh, yeah,
there we go. There we go.
Yeah, they'd taken that picture and put a halo behind her head.
Yeah. Still, I mean, this works as well. If you.
Yeah, that's an excellent one.
You know, I'm actually curious now that you mentioned it.
Saint Anita.
Jesus fucking Christ! Look at how many academic papers are citing Anita Sarkeesian.
Oh my God.
like academic papers using her videos.
Okay, well, mate, we'll go through those at some point.
Look at this. Look.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. We'll go through them. We'll
like roaches running away as you pull off the carpet. Look.
Yeah, man. Seriously, we'll do a stream where we go through them at some point because that's something really worth investigating. Actually, how much impact is she having, and who's she having on? Because I mean, you can find out who is citing these papers, can't you?
Mate, it's not stopping. I'm at page 23, and I still find results. Jesus fucking Christ.
But no, seriously, you can find out who's citing these papers, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Wow.
So it links to the citation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we can
look. Even French people, even the French, la similarité dans la vidéo d'Anita Sarkeesian au YouTube. Oh, yo.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. No wonder she got to the UN.
The trolls disappeared in the light. Swedish experiences of mediated sexuality, hate speech, and aftermath. Feminist Anita Sarkeesian.
God. Okay, let's carry on. We'll do it another time, man.
Right, I'm shocked. Hundreds of results. Jesus Christ.
I shouldn't be shocked. I shouldn't expect it.
Mate, like she has less subscribers than you.
She's got about half my subscribers.
She's gonna have, and some of them are bots, by the way.
I'm sure they are.
Anyway, and then like Senpai noticed you more like the Eye of Sauron with David Sorini. I don't know. I just read. I don't understand. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy who reads. This is the second tweet of mine she retweeted. The first got more than 3,000 retweets and 3,000 favorites.
But they weren't like mentions, were they?
Well, it's funny because when Anita Sarkeesian retweets something, it gets like 3,000 retweets, and when Macintosh retweets something, it gets like 15.
Yeah, but that's because she's a woman and people hate women, is the narrative, I believe. So a woman is just more likely to be recognized and noticed, and in this case, it turns out that Macintosh is the woman.
They're talking about David Sorini and his movie. His documentary, and just like Naked Top Man and Skull Man make a movie. Give them $15,000 a month. To be fair, I do think that calling David Sorini Skull Man is kind of funny because like he has this skull that he keeps carrying around in all his videos.
Yeah, it is funny, but it's like there are other things you could talk about with David Sorini. You know?
Yeah, I know.
There are more important things that could be talked about.
Well, back then people didn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
It was Skull Man, and it was fun.
Yeah. Mm.
Hey, you, Skullman is cool. Don't bring him into this. They actually like David Sorini.
Do they?
Yeah. It's like Secret Gamer Girl. Hey, now, Skullman is cool. Don't bring him into this. I mean, yeah, he just gives a lousy Leaf Shield knockoff, but still.
I don't know what that means, but like...
I've had this discussion with a few people, but like I can't help but think about Gamergate is made up entirely of a rogues gallery of comic book villains.
Which is ironic, given how the people opposing Gamergate are exactly that.
I don't think they're villains. I think they're savvy businessmen. I mean, to make $13,000 a month on Patreon, that's wow.
Okay, right. What V's talking about there, if anyone doesn't know, he's talking about Brianna Wu. 1 month got a one-time donation of $10,000 from someone.
13,
but she got 3,000 anyway. So for 1 month, someone had given her 10 grand. Don't get me wrong, that's a hell of an impressive achievement to get someone to give you 10 grand because people said nasty words to you on Twitter. It's unfathomably good achievement. I mean, like, I would love to get 10 grand because of nothing in particular.
Well, your feelings are important, mate.
Well, I know, and donate to my Patreon, but I'm being harassed by Crash Override.
You're being harassed by Christy Winters.
Oh, I think she likes me.
Well, she probably never met a powerful, strong, assertive man in her life before. And you're taken. That raises your value as well. So
yeah, she just wants someone to tell her no. She needs boundaries. That's the thing. I'll put her in contact with Roosh V. It'll be a match made in heaven.
Wait, to be fair, I don't think Christy Winters is a bad person. I really think that
I don't think she's a bad person either.
No, she isn't. And I want her to understand that we're not thinking she's a bad person or anything. Okay, we just don't agree with her ideology.
Yeah. I mean, if she wants to make that personal, then that's her choice, you know.
Yeah, and her tactics basically. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, did Sargon harass you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just more than willing to talk about the things you're saying. Like, I should go. Like, this is the thing. Like, she's actually not very interesting to listen to. So when she does like a video of, you know, like 50 minutes of this is why patriarchy exists, you would want it to be fun, and it should be fun to watch because you think, okay, this is going to be brilliant. But it's actually just insanely dull, and I just can't bring myself to sit through them.
I think that when she's doing a YouTube video, she's thinking that she's presenting this to her class.
Yeah.
Because she's a professor, right? And professors aren't supposed to be funny. I mean, it helps, but most of them aren't. But when you're making a YouTube video, okay, you're not like the thing when people go to university, they have to study it, so they have to pay attention. But when you're making a YouTube video, if it's not entertaining or funny in any way, people won't watch it.
Yeah, and it's and the thing is, I've got a lot of patience, and I found it really dull.
Yeah, this is why I find your history videos boring as fuck. I mean,
you do.
Yeah. But right, so let's see what else they're talking about. I have a discussion with few people, but like I can't help but think about how Gamergate is made up entirely of comic book villains. I'm sad that none of that money will be spent on mental health services.
Is that because she'd make money out of that?
No, they're talking about Dave Zaurini's documentary, and it's going to cost like $13,000. And Remy is sad that none of that money will go to people with mental health services.
That's some good virtue signaling. That's some very good virtue. And honestly, I think that they're probably talking from self-interest there as well. I bet they'd be like, yes, this money should be going to Crash Override or something like that.
Most of them have skulls as avatars. Okay, I can explain why. There was this guy called Roguestar, and Roguestar was a bit edgy, if I remember correctly. He liked to piss people off, you know, but he wasn't doing anything illegal or anything like that, right? He was just trolling, basically, and he got, like, suspended 7 or 8 times from the Twitter.
Yeah, his Patreon was amazing, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you remember his mock Patreon campaign?
Yeah.
and he was holding the internet hostage. He gave him like $1 million or something.
he made a Patreon campaign saying that if people want him gone, they can pay him to keep quiet.
Yeah.
So he made this Patreon campaign, and he said, if I reach my goal of $1,000, I will stop posting on Twitter for a month or something like that.
Yeah. They could buy his silence. It was really funny. It was obviously tongue in cheek.
Yeah, it was really funny. And like Brianna Wu said, oh my God, he's threatening us. He's threatening and blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, like, they were getting him suspended, so not banned. Now, the way Twitter worked back then, I don't know if it works the same now. If a lot of people said that you are a problem, you would immediately get suspended. And then someone from Twitter would review your case, and they would decide to see if, you know, that you need to be reinstated or not. And the Roguestar used to have this skull as an avatar. And when he got suspended for, I think it was like the 5th time, people got upset. And they placed their avatars with the skull in order to show support. Like, we're all Roguestar. You know, if you ban him, you ban all of us. That's the idea.
Yeah.
And this is why they think that Gamergate was a bunch of villains, because we all have skulls as avatars. And it was like an anime type of skull. It wasn't like a real human cranium. Just
no. Yeah, it was a cartoon skull.
Yeah, it was a cartoon skull.
It's not something I'd take seriously.
No, it's more like the Nazis used to wear.
Yeah, you know, on their belts when they had, was it God is with us or whatever.
Yeah. Do you know why that was?
What? Why they had God is with us on their belts?
No, the skull.
Oh, no, I don't think I do, actually.
It was apparently just one regiment of the Nazis that used to have a lot of history and a lot of like they were very proficient at what they did, and it's tradition basically that made them have the skull. They kept carrying it around for generations in that army unit.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's not that they actually had. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gamergate is trying to rope in Kevin Dent for your information. Who's Kevin Dent?
What? Who's got the conspiracy theories now? What the fuck are you on about? Who the hell is that?
I don't know. Who? Oh, even they don't know. Because he got blacklisted by the industry. Let me grab a link so you can know who Kevin Dent is. And we have a link. And Zoe Quinn is like, lovely. They're digging into my family again.
The link is to what? Tumblrfeminist.tumblr.com. Okay. Is this Kevin Dent's fucking Tumblr?
Living the dream of working in the video game industry. I also head up the IGDA Mobile SIG Race. Isn't he the guy who was in the Brazilian part of the IGDA?
I have no idea. I don't recognize this guy at all.
By the way, I will let Ross know that I understand that you guys no longer need to work with my partners because I am 12. Oh, so I think this is a guy who didn't take bullshit from SJWs from the looks of it.
Right, okay. Oh, good for him.
He was mocking them. So, yeah, I think Gamergate tried to reach out to this guy.
Right, okay.
They didn't like it.
Good.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, IGDA sponsored an industry-wide blacklist. So if you're a developer who had pro-Gamergate views, chances were you would not be able to work in the industry.
Yeah. I mean, IGDA stands for what is it? Indie Game Developers Association?
Yeah.
So you would think an organization that's meant to be politically neutral.
Or at least, in favor of indie gamers.
Like, yeah, neutral to indie gamers who you would think they would want to join, have joined them. But yeah, no, apparently very political.
Ryan Chang also posted this. Gamergaters have latched onto notable misogynist Kevin Dent. Oh yeah, so he's definitely against SJW.
Yeah, notable misogynist. What is that for?
This guy really beats the shit out of his wife when he goes home.
Notable misogynist. That's amazing.
Yeah, antitrust law was breached. We must inform the FTC, and basically they were, the time Gamergate made emails to the FTC to get publications punished for having sponsored content. And they did. We actually made it. Like FTC did sue, not sue, forced Gawker to show their sponsored content, to stop hiding it.
Yeah, no, that is one of the genuinely positive things Gamergate did. This is what I was saying to people in the stream with that guy the other night. It was like, look, if you actually just email these people, then as independent actors, then they take it seriously. They think, oh shit, Christ, a lot of people are suddenly concerned about this issue. They actually do take action if it's, something you're asking for that's really reasonable.
The funniest thing is that 75% of Gawker's articles were sponsored content.
Oh god, yeah, huge. It's like total fucking chills.
Yeah, it's like half of their articles were actual publicity, actual advertisement, and then like 25 more were like just sponsorship. So in total, 75% of their articles were sponsored content.
Gawker would just, literally the worst. Gawker was just...
See, this is where I disagree with you. I don't understand why people hated Gawker so much, and they didn't hate sites like Polygon and Vice.
Yeah, because Vice isn't outing gay people who want to keep their...
No, they're supporting pedophilia,
Yeah, but that's not the same. There's no one direct person they're victimizing in this case, whereas Gawker would literally victimize individuals.
Wait. Vice did victimize the scientist who wore a shirt.
That's true.
And they did got the Nobel Prize winner fired for a sexist joke.
Well, they didn't personally do that.
I think they made the first article, though.
Well, they did the first one, was it?
Yeah.
I'm aware that they were on the sort of bandwagon. I wasn't aware that they did the first.
Because I'm thinking this from a history point of view, where Americans and Russians would kill each other literally for scientists after World War II. It's like they tried their best to get as many German scientists over their part of the border. And now you have like people in America like trying to get Nobel Prize winners being thrown out of the country.
Oh man, it's just crazy.
And honestly, if you think about it, the scientists and like the geniuses of a country are one of the most important resources. Like you can get more shit from the ground. You can buy other materials, but you can never like create smart people. Nobel Prize.
Brain drain is a real problem. It's it's a real thing. It's a real problem.
Yeah, and the way they're treating, like the way social justice warriors are treating scientists is just astonishing. It's even more scary to think what they would do if they would actually be in government and have like actual power.
Oh, that would be terrifying. These people are just like criminally irresponsible. And unbelievably selfish.
The best tortured metaphor still comes from the whole Operation Skynet thing.
What?
Because we're like villains. Well, Operation Skynet was in order to get Gamergaters to follow each other on Twitter.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, that was
the thing is, like, Gamergate was so suppressed on every single forum. You couldn't talk about it on Reddit. You couldn't talk about it on 4chan. You couldn't talk about it on any message board. You couldn't talk it on the Angry Joe army. You know, like, nowhere where people would usually gather would you be able to talk about Gamergate. It was a banned subject. And the only way people talked about it was the Twitter and YouTube. So, yeah, a lot of people wanted to get in touch with each other to share information. And Verandir Jubal, I should have used my ISIS skills.
Oh, so you weren't really that bothered about it then?
No, but here's the thing. This joke is before the actual meme. So, you, like, I'm sorry to say this, but you are asking for it, Verandir. Let me check if they talk about you. I can use, like, on a more serious note, one debate that
you can't spell, just so you know.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
On a more serious note, the one debate between Sargon and Jenny Gottschall turned out quite well, but Jenny has a very different temperament than Chloe. Jenny is an actual intellectual with academic experience, despite her self-confessed proclivity for cursing, a compassionate calm, and a methodical debater. Chloe is a bit of firebrand, to put it gently.
Oh, I love that Sarah Butts is in here.
Is she the pedophile?
Yeah, she's called Sarah Butter of Butts.
Do you want me to look on her, or should I still see what they were talking about?
Whatever. Go for whatever you want, man.
8chan dug up stuff because they're half-assed at any doxing, and then Sargon pushed it out there, okay? I hated that Sargon and Paul were shotting her down. Oh, at Jenny. Pixie Jenny.
Yeah.
I actually like Pixie Jenny. I would have liked to have a debate with her. I think you did horrible.
Well, that's because I wasn't really expecting a debate. And I suck at debates. And I was stoked.
Who started that rumor about your dad being a billionaire anyway? Sargon? Wow, who are they talking about? I think it's about Alex Lifshitz.
No, seriously, his father is president of the Gare Group. You can look it up.
So he's saying that, yeah, my dad, the Hojillionaire arms dealer, killing innocent children in Gaza.
Oh, I'm not saying he's killing innocent children or anything like
that. Sargon pushed it out there. You know what? Scary Sargon and King of Polar moderates.
Yeah, this is the same stuff, guys.
Yeah, but basically he is saying that his dad is not a gajillionaire.
But okay, so there are a bunch of other logs. That's the first one.
Right.
Where was the one?
Let me see if I can find anything about Crash Override.
Yeah, okay. Oh, shit, man, there are loads.
Yeah, this one doesn't have anything. Look at Zoe Quinn. If my plane crashes, please make sure someone feeds my cat. See, she is so scared about everything. She actually thinks that someone with a bazooka from Gamergate will crash her plane.
There are a couple marked under serious. I'll just put it in the side chat. So you can have a look at. This was marked as serious, and it's short, and there's a serious long.
I before that, I want to see how many times they use the word scared. So Zoe Quinn, I get so scared every time. I am scared to death that he is going to be able to convince you all to pull my only source of income based on having a hate mob behind him and a huge pack of lies. What?
Were people trying to get her Patreon shut down or something?
No, basically, like, convince people that she is she's an abuser.
All right, okay. I was gonna say, I don't ever recall anyone actually trying to do that.
No. Well, expose her lies is something people did.
Yeah, but that's not trying to get her Patreon shut down.
No. Well, if her lies would be exposed, people would stop donating to her.
I don't know. They won't. Not at all. I mean, they've chosen a side. I don't think they're going to stop donating just because the truth is uncomfortable.
I need Randy. No, I can't read this seriously. Like Sarah, butter of the bots. I need Randy. It's an emergency. Okay.
What's the emergency?
I don't know. How do I get a hold of her? She seems to be on Twitter right now. She doesn't follow me, so I can't DM her. DM her is no substitute for good practices. Blah blah blah.
A substitute for good practices.
Yeah, we don't know what. Ian's reverse disrespectful not plan looks promising. Jesus Christ, doxing trans women is like daily thing for them now, practically. Well, when a trans woman like Brianna Wu is saying that she's a woman and she speaks for all women and men are horrible and they're scum and they're the shit of humanity, you know, why is she surprised when someone says that, look, you're a man, okay? Well, just shut the fuck up.
Does kind of take the wind out of the sails a bit, doesn't it?
And I like the fact that I had the conversation with Sarah Bats back then. It's like, oh, now you put Brianna Wu in danger, and I'm like, who is she in danger from? Like her very progressive friends?
Yeah, what is she in danger of?
The feminists that she's surrounding her. Like, who is going to hurt her? You don't know. Like, dude, Jesus, we're in 2016. Come the fuck on, you know. It's like using the current year is ever a good thing. It's like when you're telling someone that a trans woman that's surrounded by feminists is not going to be hurt if you're outing her.
Yeah, I don't think any harm is going to come to Brianna Wu at all.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I was right. I because he's like, you don't know. Well, I'm in the future now, and I know. I looked at the crystal ball, mate. I'm like the prophet. Ask me the lottery numbers next.
What are they actually discussing in this that's serious?
They're not. It's a very short log, this one, and they're not really talking anything. But it's interesting because at the end, someone is banning everyone. Like Tesseract just ejected Athena, Alex, Chris Clue, Dan Olson, Dave Galant from the conversation.
So that means Tesseract is the one who organized the conversation.
Yeah, what I think has happened is Sarabots said that someone is pasting the logs here or something like that, and then Tesseract just removed everyone from the conversation. Because look at how it goes. This is the way I see it. I need Randy. It's an emergency. How do I get a hold of her? And Tesseract goes, I DM'd her.
Yeah.
And then he goes like in a kicking spree. He's ejecting everyone from the conversation.
Lifshitz. Oh right, okay. Hang on. There's a longer version here. Let's put it in the chat. And Lifshitz is the one adding Sarah Butts into it. When he's like, stay in and all you like, just keep anything serious here.
So Lifshitz goes like I was talking.
Listen to this, and Athena Hollow's like, okay, I'll probably drop the other serious chat then, just to be safe, that I don't accidentally say anything in here. I mean, how fucking scheming are these people?
Well, they were making money out of it, so they had like
literally
their business invested into this shit.
Yeah, it's just okay.
You know, it's funny because people were saying that YouTubers were scheming. I mean, I did have you on my Skype, but did we ever do something like this?
What would we do?
I don't know. Just
what would we do? I just don't understand what we could do. We're nobodies. We're not in the gaming industry. We can't like contact. We can't contact so and so. I don't even know who. I can't even think of someone. So we're not anyone involved in this.
It's like, well, I'm going to open my Patreon, and you open your Patreon, and you give some viewers to me, and I give some viewers to you, and
I don't control my viewers. This is what drives me crazy. It's like with Naked Ape's argument against AIU. I don't mind either, but I like Naked Ape's videos more, I think. But it's just like, you're giving them just, I'm not doing anything. These people are looking for this content. They'll find it eventually.
See, that's what you think, that I don't control your viewers. That's what I want you to think.
Good. Yeah, the gypsy magic is beyond my ken. Apparently,
You know, me and your viewers are conspiring daily on
it's gone
IRC.
against me. Why, guys? Why? But yeah, no, I don't ever recall anything exciting like this going on. To be honest.
Yeah, honestly, it's like the same with Christy Winters. You know, it's like you're organizing your viewers in harassment. I wonder if you would actually want to organize your viewers in harassment. Like, you would actually want to do this. Like, how many would go along?
I don't know. I wouldn't. It's too much work. I would in a video. I'd say, look, okay, like email like a politician and say nice things or something because that's a positive thing, and it's hard to criticize someone for that. It's not harassment. That's being nice. So that's I'm fine with, but I wouldn't want to organize harassment because it's just a bad idea.
Yeah, I think the only way you could harass someone is to tag them.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, if I tag someone on Twitter, that is obviously harassment because, duh.
Yeah.
But, no, but it's just I still want to do that sort of stuff. It's not. It does nothing for me. If I were to do that, I'd just walk away feeling shit. So I wouldn't be secret like, yeah, I just feel like we could have handled this better, and this is probably going to fucking blow back in our faces anyway now.
There are YouTubers who genuinely do harassment, right? The way they do it is they make up lies about someone. They call someone a pedophile or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That is harassment, and that is horrible. Like if you're a YouTuber that has like millions of viewers, and you make people believe that X is a pedophile, and then those people actually go and insult him, try to get him fired and whatnot. Yeah, that might be harassment, but simply like disagreeing with someone.
Well, yeah, obviously, simply disagreeing with someone is not harassment.
Right. So.
Yeah, I sent you the second one. It's bigger, so there's more on there, and
let's see what they talk about.
And it's honestly, I'm just amazed at how they're scheming. Just I'll cover my tracks. It's like, fucking hell.
So Peter Coffin is scared.
Oh, really?
He was aggressively trying to get a hold of me, saying I had, should we call it Patreon? Get the fuck out of me. Retrospectively, I think it was to shut me up, but I wasn't really going too hard on it. That was a joke. These people are capable of jokes. And what's interesting is that Zoe Quinn is always in the chat. It's like, this woman has no life. You have Brianna Wu on Twitter and Zoe Quinn in IRC.
That's the thing, mate, isn't it? She's being paid to do nothing all day. What else is she going to do with her time?
Well, my question is, when does she have time to fuck 5 journalists? Maybe it's like, really made
she
up.
fucked them all at once. I think it was kind of spread out, to be honest.
It's like, if you're spending so much time on IRC, unless, well, she's a woman, she could just stay on her belly with the iPhone in her hand, and, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but she's plotting and scheming, mate.
No, she's doing both at once. She's multitasking.
That's exactly it. She's busy. Plots and schemes are the same thing, Zoe.
See, like, I'm saying really harsh shit on your channel, but then again, I remind myself that Zoe Quinn had the power of taking away the First Amendment from a guy.
That's true.
So I'm not
that's seriously, that's fucking true. The guy who put up the Zoe post from which all this sprang had to go through a prolonged legal battle to be able to tell people what happened and what was going on. And yeah, basically, she was able to use the law against him, and it took a long time before this got lifted because she kind of bogged him down in the process of it, and he had to raise loads of money that Gamergate funded because they were synthetic, I guess, and it was in their interest. Let's be honest. But yeah, it's incredible what she's done. It really is. It's such an abuse of her own power, and not even any kind of formal power, just influence that she has. That she's abused. Honestly, it's genuinely amazing. It's like watching Machiavelli or something at work.
At this point, I have to say I'm more scared of her than the Muslims.
I'm not more scared of her than the Muslims, but I mean,
unless the Muslims are coming to get you, it's like you're gonna see them. Like it's direct violence. This is some insidious shit.
Yeah, that's true. She is the sort.
You can call the police if there's the Muslims, but when it's Zoe Quinn, she is the police. Just for
the now you say it like that, that is quite scary. Yeah.
I mean, what she did, from what I understand, is like she got her boyfriend on some sort of app. so that whenever he was talking on the internet, it would pop off and give her a notification if he was talking about her. And because of that, he was not allowed to talk about her at all, anywhere. Because it was considered to break, what's it called?
It was some harassment thing, but no, seriously, that is true. I know that sounds fucking mental, doesn't it? Right? For anyone who didn't know anything about Gamergate and is just finding out about it for the sort of first time, honestly, that is a true thing that happened. He wasn't allowed to talk about her on the internet
at all
because she had like a method of tracking him, and it's like
if
really,
you would say her name, basically, she would get a message. Yeah,
it's just like that is unbelievably Orwellian. And then you've got like Gregory Allen Elliott, who's banned from the internet for like 3 years. Accusation. It's like, man, these people are going really, really far, and they're really affecting people.
Yeah, but that's the Canadian civil rights courts, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's all still about the principle of like control of the internet.
Yeah, I actually have
different things in different countries doing it, and they are getting places.
Yeah, they you know, the Russians broke George Soros's email, and one of them is talking about how he wants to make the internet more safe.
Oh, they have actually leaked them. I thought they were just rumored to leak them.
No, they leaked a few.
Right, okay. I'm gonna have to check those out at some point. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, they're very interesting, and he's against Israel as well. So,
really,
yeah, I don't understand like the people who are talking about the Jewish problem. You know, like, okay, George Soros is against Israel. Why don't you? Do you still think the Jews are like the Borg? They have the same mentality.
Yeah, I think it's just like people like George Soros. I mean, there's no way Ben Shapiro is ever going to agree to anything George Soros wants, you know?
By the way, they didn't talk about you at all on this.
Oh no, I feel left out.
Yeah, you should be.
How dare they?
Let's see.
Should I email them and say, excuse me, do you mind conspiring about me some more, please?
Trying to find if they're talking about getting people fired. No. Oh, King of Pol was actually very famous. Maybe they're talking about him.
Yeah, maybe.
No, just police and apology. That's the most pedophile. Okay, pedophilia. Someone passed this on Torello for whispering me that Gamergaters defending pedophilia. This is very funny because they actually have a pedophile in the chat.
Yeah, they actually have a pedophile in the chat. I mean, we know this because Sarah Butts runs, what was it, the Final Fantasy Shrine website? And that's her job, basically. And someone got onto the server and found some chat logs from her on the server with various other people. And then obviously released them. And literally, she's just openly claiming to be a pedophile. Just openly saying, like, I have a crush on, what is it, her little sister or something. And it's like, all right, that's just disgusting beyond reason. Just, okay.
What's even more funny is that Dan Olson, right? Not the conspiracy theory. I know who did it.
Not the them. We actually know who we're talking about here, yeah.
He went to 8chan and allegedly found some child porn there. Now, I don't know how the fuck he managed, because I went to 8chan a lot of times. I was not so successful as he was. I mean, he should like start playing with dog fights and horse races if he's so lucky that, you know, saying.
But yeah, he finds something.
He finds child porn on 8chan, right? So as any sensible, normal human being does, he downloaded the child porn.
What did he do?
He tinkers with the child porn, right? He puts some pixels on their faces, man. And then, of course, he writes a blog, you know, that 8chan has child porn. And basically now
he hosts these pictures on his blog.
Right. The logics that be dictate that if you go to 8chan, you're a pedophile. I mean, duh.
Yeah, that's the implication that he's trying to make.
That's the implication. Huh? And as people are trying desperately to point out to him, it's like, look, mate, you downloaded the child. Why aren't you calling the police? Do you not think this is a serious issue? Yeah, I mean, you're finding child porn on a website. Should you not inform the authorities?
Yeah, instead of using it as like a political point scoring exercise.
Yeah, and basically
that's what you're trying to do here. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and everyone was saying that 8chan was Gamergate's public relations office, right?
Was they?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Gamergate and 8chan was the same thing because 4chan would ban discussion about Gamergate.
Right, okay. That's
Yeah,
true.
give me a second. Someone is at the door.
Anyways. Yeah, no, that is true. The discussion of Game Gear was just banned everywhere. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and basically, they were saying that Gamergates are pedophiles because 8chan has child porn that no one has shown except Dan Olson, who downloaded it on his computer. And yeah, that was it. So like people pointed out, like, look, mate, we're going to call the cops on you. And Ian Chung is saying here, can't even point out dirty pedophiles because they're saying you downloaded child porn. Like, yeah, that's a good point. You know?
Yeah.
You know, the child pornography laws are quite problematic, if you will. Because apparently there was a case where a journalist who went into a war zone took some pictures of, you know, the atrocities committed by the soldiers there. And he was arrested when he got into his country again. Because, you know, it's illegal to have child porn pictures.
Yeah, wasn't it illegal in the country Dan was in to have done what he did? But the pictures weren't actually child porn. I think they were just, well, no, I say just. I think they were young kids like on the beach or something. So they're not actually naked or something. But I think in Canada that counts as child porn.
Yeah, the place where Dan Olson is from.
Yeah. So there wasn't actually a crime being committed because 8chan is following US laws. And Dan Olson actually committed one by downloading it himself in the country he was in.
Yeah, and since he wasn't arrested, I assume he was full of shit. There was no child porn on 8chan.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think, you know, I'm sure I saw a post from him where he says, no, I spoke to them and explained what was going on. And they were like, right, okay. You know, which is fine. It's fair enough, you know. But it's just funny that it came to that, Dan. Why did you do it?
Yeah, apparently Dad is saying it's on the 8chan Gamergate board. Apparently they keep posting it only to have it taken down. Like, who the fuck is posting child porn on Gamergate?
Yeah, but it's okay. Let's think about that. It's an anonymous fucking message board, image board. Someone keeps posting it anonymously, and it keeps getting taken down. So it makes it sound like the people in Gamergate are like, no. Whoever's posting this, who would be spending all their fucking day anonymously posting what is considered apparently child porn on 8chan? Dan Olson. Just who do you think it might have been, Dan? For fuck's sake.
I mean, it's really risky. You can get in jail for doing that.
But it's obviously not, you know, they're obviously moderating it. So what more can they do?
Yeah, and just because, you know, I would go to that place, I would obviously go for the Gamergate thing, not for the child porn.
You would think, wouldn't you? But even then, I really don't know if it was. I doubt it was hosting any. I really doubt it.
I doubt it as well. I mean, the legal implications of having kiddie porn on a website.
Yeah, Frederick would be fucking. The guy who owns 8chan would be fucked.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, it's the only rule 8chan has. You know, no child porn.
No,
that literally is like the only rule. You know, you are not allowed to post child porn. You are allowed to post anything else. Absolutely, whatever the fuck you want. Bank accounts, credit card information, whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they did have this Baphomet board where they would post people's addresses. They posted even mine there, so I went and I corrected them because there was an error there.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure. By the way, like if you want to harass people, this is a good way. Like if dox them and then order pizza to their house. That's how I would harass people.
That's evil. That happened to me. It was really mildly annoying. Just for about half an hour, I just stood at the door and just told pizza men, no, sorry, some twats on the internet have ordered this in my name. Sorry, I didn't.
Did you get a free pizza at least?
No, I didn't get a free pizza. I did pay for one though, because to be fair, I was actually hungry. and it was like the last guy, and you know, it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, sorry, okay, fine.
Yeah, well, that's kind of nasty because you don't know if it's the kind of pizza you want.
No, it was all right. I think it was just ham and pineapple or something.
Well, you didn't like get a lot of tea kettles and shit like that.
Yeah. People decided they wanted to be nice to me as well, so they sent me like.
You got a computer for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You didn't even keep it.
I do still have it actually.
Oh, congratulations.
because people were like, don't like do anything else with it because And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Right.
I just thought I'd do something nice. That's all.
Well, one day maybe yours is going to break, and you can have like a piece to replace it with.
Yeah. But yeah, what else was going on?
I cannot send the exact URLs without actually looking through the pedophile boards for the content in question, which would be both illegal and psychologically scarring. Oh, wow. So basically, he's saying that Dan Olson got psychologically scarred. I mean, he didn't seem too bummed out about it, to be honest.
He was Dan Olson is basically a troll. Dan Olson is not like he's a true believer. He's not some sort of wilting flower or anything. You can't harass him because he will take it. He's fighting the culture war. He's a veteran of this. He knows what's going on.
Look, the Daily Dot actually reported on 8chan kiddie porn.
Really? Christ.
Yeah, 8chan, the central hive of Gamergate.
The question is, what did Salon.com say about it? Did Salon go, oh my god, look at these terrible people, they're terrible child porn. By the way, we should normalize pedophilia.
Well, it's not the Daily Dot, that's Jezebel. But it's funny because they actually have a genuine pedophile in the chat. So
it was Salon.
Yeah, it was. My bad. But you would think that Sarabots would defend its culture. You would defend his people.
Well, no. They're obviously modulating themselves for the company they're in. They know they can't be an open pedo in this sort of company.
Yeah, but Sarabots should have been at least like hashtag not all pedos,
No. She knows. She's not an idiot.
She knows her place at the picking order, right?
Yeah, she's not an idiot. She knows.
Yeah, this is what I also like. It's they know their pecking order. It's like Zoe Quinn is obviously the first, and Alex Lifshitz.
Yeah, they're like the king and queen of this little thing, and it's little brown noses who are sucking their way up the ladder.
Yeah, and Randy Harper, who is also very influential.
Dana Withers.
Yeah, but they do have a pecking order, and they do know not to break the line.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do, and you're absolutely right.
I think it's also based on how many connections they have. It's very nepotistical. It's like Zoe Quinn, she has like a lot of connections in the media, and apparently some judges.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Yeah, and then it's like Alex Lifshitz, daddy billionaire.
Sarkeesian is firmly at the top of this pecking order, then Quinn.
Yeah, I'm really curious if it's actually Sarkeesian that has the power or Macintosh. It's because Macintosh is the guy paying the money. At the end
I don't know. I mean, let me think. Sarkeesian definitely believes her shtick.
You think so?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Mate, you are wrong with Macintosh.
No. I think Macintosh. No, listen. Right? I think Macintosh believed this shit as well, right? It's just he's definitely playing up the sort of the narrative of it. I think he truly believes that we live in a patriarchy and all this sort of nonsense. I think he deliberately is. He plays up the concern he has for this because it benefits him and because it helps. But I think he truly believes the nonsense that he spews.
Mate, do you remember this video?
Is it the full Macintosh video?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
and I know what I said in it.
Patreon. Sorry, Lightning.
And I think that I think it's not that he doesn't believe in this stuff. It's that I don't think he believes it's the terrible evil that he's making it out to be.
I honestly think he's making money out of this shit. And maybe it's not the fact that if he believes or not. He realizes it gets him a lot of people, it gets him a lot of friends, it gets him a lot of connections.
I think it gets him friends and connections. I don't know how many. I mean, it does make money, but only relatively so. I mean, Anit Sarkeesian, she's done well, but considering how hated she is, I mean, she's paid a high price for not that much money, really. I think Feminist Frequency had taken like $1 million or something in total in their entire lifespan, and that's really not that much considering the media exposure that she's had, considering the platform that she's had to make money out of this. You know,
You say she's hated, but in her progressive circles, I think she's adored.
Yeah, for them, but outside of that, man, she's hated.
Outside of that, no one knows her. Like, you think if I go to a restaurant and I ask my waitress, it's like, what do you think about Anita Sarkeesian?
Yeah, listen. But those people don't matter, because the people who are buying video games know who she is and don't like her. I mean, and I'm talking about like feminists and stuff like that. I read their comments and they're always just like, yeah, well, I'm not really a fan of Anita Sarkeesian, but this harassment's terrible, blah 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 blah. I see that constantly, and it's just like, it's interesting how she's become that. And the thing is, I hear that said about me in alt-right boards as well, which I find is amusing. When I've made a video that they agree with or something like that, they're like, oh, I hate Saga now, blah blah. But this is a fair point, blah 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 blah. It's kind of like this little bit of virtue signal. This person is, in certain communities, and I wonder if it's because she's a bit of a swerve. A sex worker, exclusionary, radical feminist.
Yeah, well, imagine when you say it's like women shouldn't have individuality because that's working for the patriarchy. Women should follow feminism. Like, whoa, hold on, Jesus Christ, yeah. That's a roll in as fuck. Like, people don't right to be robbed of their individuality.
Yeah,
that's the very definition of freedom. It's like being an individual, doing whatever you want to do. And Anita Sarkeesian just wants to rob women of that.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's intersectional feminism. That's what it is. I think it's the people who have lost the culture war, but not just them. I think just normal people are just tired of Anita Sarkeesian. I mean, you see it in non-political gaming channels where occasionally, for some reason, she'll come up and it's like, they're just sick of her.
Yeah, probably because they know she doesn't know anything about gaming yet. They have to play along. It's like
exactly.
Yeah, imagine if I would tell you that, look, you have to get this guy on your channel. He knows nothing about feminism, but, he has like this renown of being a world expert in feminism.
I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Why would I talk to this person?
Well, because your producer wants you to, and, you have to. Yeah. It's your job. You just need to do it. Play along.
Man, that's fucking annoying, isn't it? Now you think about it. Imagine how many people she's pissed off just over the course of her career on that alone. Yeah. Just like, but she literally doesn't know anything.
Yeah, like, get this guy who's like a historian expert, and you're probably excited, and your producer tells you, by the way, he doesn't know anything about history. He's going to read from a script. Don't ask him any questions. Don't do anything.
You're literally going to be a tool of someone's agenda. So shut up and fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is the script. This is what you have to read. Just shut the fuck up and be glad you have a job.
Yeah, Jesus.
So yeah, I can see why people hate her.
Yeah, I can. Honestly, it's really not just like gamers and Gamergate, but not like people involved directly in the political like culture war of it. I think it's just the wider, just people are just sick of her.
Yeah, this is why I think Colbert, actually did try to ask her a softball, like, name me 3 games that have misogyny.
Yeah. To be fair, mate, that thing is right. Everyone's like, oh my god, she couldn't name 3. She could. She could. She can easily name 3 games she doesn't like. Easily. She's named practically every game on the earth as a game she doesn't like. So she could just name any 3 games. She can do that. She wasn't bothering because she was taking control of the conversation. That's why.
That's what you think that was? I mean, that's
absolutely what it was. I would love it if literally she couldn't do it. If I literally thought she couldn't do it, I would have been like, ha 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 ha. But she can, and she knows she can.
No, I think she did a Sarah Palin. She couldn't name 3 newspapers that she reads.
Yeah, but honestly, I really don't think it was that, man. I really don't.
She did name like GTA, right?
Yeah, and she didn't name like cheap. It's too cheap. Even Anita Sarkeesian could have done that. Even Anita.
Yeah, you know what? I want the chat to vote.
Yeah, okay, but it's not going to change my mind. The vote, you'd have to come up with an argument.
Well, for instance, if she was dominating the conversation, she wouldn't name GTA, which is like the most famous game ever, and that was in the press as well.
When did she mention GTA? Sorry,
she did mention GTA. That's it.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. Like she didn't mention 3 games. She just like, well, GTA, and that was it, right? And
no, she doesn't. She says I can, but and then
no. She names GTA. We can watch it after the stream. And
yeah, no, honestly, I'm pretty sure she doesn't. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think GTA comes up in the course of the conversation. So obviously GTA comes up because she's
okay. No. Now you've.
I'm sure she says she just smiles as I can, but something with feminist nonsense, like blah 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 blah, claptrap. Honestly, I'm certain that's what happens.
Here, I actually found it. It's 2 minutes long. Let's see who's right.
Would you call them male fantasy games or male fantasy objectification of women games?
Some of them that would be an accurate title,
yeah. Give me some names. Name some names.
And when it comes to establishing your worldview, I was curious, what newspapers and magazines...
What is this cut to?
Yeah, well...
So, in the work that I do, I look at hundreds of examples of video games, and
all of them, 50 of them.
Can you think of three? Can you think of three?
I can.
I've read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press.
But I think it's a bigger issue to talk about the industry as a whole.
See, she says, I can, but it's a bigger issue to talk about the industry as a whole.
Hold on, it's not over.
No.
Of collusion. What about the accusations of collusion between designers, feminists, and journalists?
Ethics in journalism is not what's happening in any way. Ethics in journalism is not what's happening in any way.
All right, come on.
Gamergate is about.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I was so sure she named GTA.
Like I said, I'm sure she does later on through the interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't know. And honestly, I know it would be. I would love to have the a little fucking laugh at her expense, but I really don't think that's her not being able to. I think that's her not wanting to answer the question and wanting to talk about what she actually wants to talk about and control the conversation.
Well, still, it did come off bad in my opinion. It did look like Sarah Palin unable to name, like the newspapers.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. In the case of Sarah Palin, maybe she couldn't. I don't know.
Well, still, it does really amaze me how Sarah Palin is actually more aware and more self-aware than any of the progressive press right now. She actually sued someone who insulted her and said, like, oh, I hope Sarah Palin gets raped. It's like, okay, I'm going to sue her. The name of the Lord is going to punish them.
Did she actually sue someone who, Twitter threatened her?
Yeah.
Death tweeted her.
Yeah. She sued a famous person, I think an artist or something like that. She said that she hopes Sarah Palin is going to choke with black dicks or something like that.
Oh, yeah, Azalea Banks or something. I don't know. But I don't know who these people are, but people say them and okay, they must be famous. Yeah,
she says, look, I'm a rich person. I can defend myself. This happens to me, to women every single day, and it's not fair, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to take the fight in their name.
My God. Sarah Palin's a better feminist than fucking Anita Sarkeesian ever will be.
Right. Anyway, I don't really see anything about Crash Override in these.
No. These are actually before Crash Override was formed. But it's the same people. You can see there's Quinn Moon in some of them, which is she's Catherine Cross, an academic and the secretary of Feminist Frequency. So, I mean, this is someone who is literally involved in the organization of Feminist Frequency, being in these logs. So these people are so incredibly tight knit. It's just freaky.
Yeah, they were the anti-Gamergate squad, and they actually created there's an actual backlash against Gamergate, but there wasn't. It was just a handful of people that had connections, and they spent their entire days on Twitter. Do you remember when they paid ISIS bots to talk against Gamergate?
No. That was right. So they created a hashtag called Stop Gamergate 2014, which you think, okay, you're not going to use this for that long, then I guess. But yeah, they created this hashtag, and then for some reason they paid to spread it on ISIS bots. I don't know why.
Maybe it was some. I thought that maybe it's a pro Gamergate that did this on purpose.
Well, maybe that's quite funny if they did.
But still, it's you had bots that would talk about cutting off the heads of journalists and killing the dogs of the infidel, and then thinking in hashtag Stop Gamergate 2014 because it abuses women.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, you've got your priorities straight there, guys.
Radical Muslims defending the right of a fat girl to have sex with 5 journalists.
Oh man, I love Gamergate. It was so much fun. Yeah, when it was going on, wasn't it just the most thrilling thing though?
It was. It's how Germans used to say it, multikulti,
Yeah, honestly, just every day something would be going on, and you'd be like, shit, new leak or new fucking info, new connections have been discovered or something, and it's just like, fuck me. There's more and more just keep coming out, and you're like, fucking.
Yeah, now that I think about it, King of Pole used to have like 2,000 or no 9,000 people on his streams.
Mental.
Yeah. Well, still, now that I look at your streams, they still have a similar number of people. And this stream is having 2,000 people, and we're just talking shit.
Yeah, we're not talking about anything. Anyone in there who wants to come on?
Apparently, there's harmful opinions.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll send him a link. Harmful, come in. So he was going. That's the thing. It's worth getting the people who were literally there through the whole damn thing, because just they're gonna have other.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think that Harambe didn't die for this.
Harmful, I've just sent you the link if you want to come in, man.
I like how you pwned the Young Turks with Harambe. It's like the reason we're laughing at it, you idiots, is because of the racists who used Harambe to compare him with black people.
Yeah, they literally called themselves fucking gorillas. What? How can we not laugh at this? If you want to talk about internalized racism, SJWs, just.
Can you imagine? Like there was this case of a guy, Internet Aristocrat showed it. He hooked at a black person. He went.
Yeah.
He got fired. He had like an entire mob of social justice people at his house, breaking his windows and shit. And all right. So when white people do it, it's bad. But when black people call themselves gorillas,
okay, because they're black. But you understand how being an anti-racist works.
I never understood this thing. It's like if you're black, you can't hate black people. I know like people who are white who hate white people. It's the idea that you're hating a race. It's just because you're hating your own race doesn't make it okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, I wouldn't mind talking about like the anti-white agenda that you do obviously see in people like the Young Turks, but it's just too much hassle to then have to deal with the people who think that you're taking this to like mean that they're being successful. It's I don't think people are actually getting genocided, but these people are being like openly bigoted. I'd like to like.
No, I can easily debunk the genocide theory. It's like it's basically why people don't want to fuck because they're rich. Like rich countries have low demographics, and you can look at Japan, for instance, right? And there's no multi-culti there. There's no multiculturalism. There's no left that's eroding at traditional thought, and there's no feminism that wants women to fuck as much as possible. It's a very conservative nation. But people just don't want to fuck. There's a lot of.
No, they do. They just use contraception. That's they just don't want kids.
Yeah,
because they want to be able to enjoy their freedom and the wealth. And it's like, okay, well, that's understandable.
Yeah, and it's basically like a wave. It goes up and down. You're going to have like people not wanting to have children, and then it's going to go down in the demographics. And as it goes down, the poverty goes up, and as the poverty goes up, people want to have kids again, and whoop, all the way back up we go. It goes in cycles. When did you stop talking about Gamergate? Because you don't really pay attention to video gaming news anymore.
Well, I guess when I ran out of when I had nothing relevant to say.
Do you want me to show you some news that I have about gaming?
If you want. What's going on with Ben Kuchera?
He hasn't posted in a while. But I do have something interesting, social justice-y related.
Ben Kuchera was my favorite man potato.
He's concerned that his daughter likes Barry Allen in The Flash.
How awful! He's
also like
heterosexual.
Right. So here we have a switch.
Tragic. I'm so sorry for your loss, Ben.
We have a gender swap where they want to make Metroid be a male instead of a woman. And social justice warriors are in an uproar.
How dare they?
How dare they? How dare you change the gender of an already established character? And
Yeah, how very dare you, sir?
It is problematic. As a game, Metroid Prime Federation Force is not as bad as Other M. As an insult to Samus and the entire franchise, it is definitely as bad. Let's see what else I got, because I could not do my weekly segment. Oh, Bob Chipman. I miss when video games were sincerely dumb for fun. Feels so long ago now. So basically, this is a guy who wanted politics into gaming. And now that he got politics into gaming, he's very displeased. Because Deus Ex, a video game, is saying augmented lives matter. And that's not cool.
This really squeezed some people's shit.
It does.
They were angry, really fucking angry, that Deus Ex decided to have some sort of social commentary in their game, and have some sort of relevant real world thing in the game that people can relate to and understand, and use the game as a method of teaching people why the people are out protesting, why the government's acting the way they are. You can actually inform people using this, but that really pissed people off for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, I thought that was a great idea, but never mind.
And look at this. Jim Sterling is upset. Dude on the right literally said, "Social justice warrior oppose discrimination."
Yeah.
You can't say social justice warrior as a pejorative term. Okay, these are morally intellectual people. They are superior beings. They're outrighteous citizens. Okay, they show others how to walk.
To be fair, they are just a better class of person, aren't they, Anna Kasparian?
They are. They look
can you fucking believe that? I'm fucking better than you. Just you're garbage. Just fuck Anna. Why? Because I'm a social justice warrior. Really? They're just so unself-aware about it. Just like, okay, but this is what everyone's saying is the problem with SJWs. And you're like, yeah, but I am this. Okay, then you're a fucking cock, aren't you?
Oh my God, when she went into that rage, I was like, whoa, modesty, woman, modesty. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck do you think you are, Anna? You're a pundit on a fucking internet TV show. You're not fucking...
I'm better than you. Get off the stage, you fat fuck.
Yeah, just...
this is exactly the problem. That they're not even hypocrites to the point where they're trying to hide it anymore. Like on one show, they go like, "Get off the stage, you fat fuck," and in another stage, they talk about how bad fat shaming is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because they're slaves to their emotions, mate. That's what it is. They don't think, oh shit, maybe I should try and be a little bit impartial here.
Is Alex Jones more fat than Cenk Uygur? At this point, I have to wonder.
There can't be much in it, can there?
No, it's like I'm curious if she would say the same about Cenk Uygur.
Well, of course not.
Well, you know why? Because Alex Jones is a non-person. He's not a human.
Exactly. He's a right winger.
He's a right winger, yeah. And Cenk Uygur is definitely one of the good guys.
He's a good guy. He didn't do nothing.
Good guy.
No, seriously, he literally didn't do nothing. I mean, he talks about Saudi Arabia all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why I have this article here, but it's like relenting is not the same as consenting to sex. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one is really amazing. It's from the Mary Sue. Final Fantasy fans are sexist pigs. Yeah. So basically, this is a series that pretty much like usually had female protagonists. I mean, there's like Final Fantasy X, all female cast.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're making a cast where it's all males.
Right, okay.
Sexism!
Of course, how awful. How could this have happened?
And they're saying that adding an all-male cast is not an excuse for diversity just because you had the female cast in a previous game.
That actually sounds like the perfect reason for it. It actually sounds like, like a perfectly valid reason. The last game was all women. This one's all men. How is that not fair? How is that not fair?
I mean, dressed up like members of an edgy leather-clad J-rock band, the four must discover what it means to become heroes and explore their friendships with It's a male bonding thing. And this is what the game director, Hajime Tabata, explained. in his decisions. Yeah, in his decisions to leave female characters out of the main mix, because he wants to make like a male bonding type of story.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I imagine the last one was a female bonding story, so
Yeah, and this is criticized and scorned by game critics for his remarks, with some publications accusing him of sexism.
dun.
He's a non-person. Let's see the criticism. Final Fantasy, an all-male party makes the game more approachable.
Well, for young men, I imagine it does.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I do find a group of women more approachable. I really don't care about this gender crap, like who
No,
I
I
play. You know, it's important if the story is interesting, and that I mean it's visuals. Its gender representation, on the other hand, looks terrible. The game's main party is dudes only, as we had previously feared. Can you imagine? They're afraid. They're afraid. It's like they sit in their house and they're like, oh, and then there's a loud noise outside. Then they'll go like, oh, they got spooked.
I love, but they make it sound like it's an imperial move, like they're playing a grand strategy, and they're like, right, okay, we need to have all female casts in Ghostbusters, Final Fantasy, and then something else. Oh no, we're losing this. No, they've gone all male. It's the worst possible scenario. They have gone all male. It's as bad as we feared. What we're going to do is start pushing pressure on the developers. We'll get a petition there. We'll get a hashtag. We will take this back, and it will
contingency measures. Contingency measures. Like the phones are ringing.
It sounds to me. It just sounds like war planning.
The Skypes are ringing everywhere.
And
start the presses. Ready to continue. In an interview with GameSpot, Tabata said, speaking honestly, an all-male party feels almost more approachable for players. Even the presence of one female in the group will change their behavior so that they'll act differently. So to give the most natural feelings, to make them feel sincere and honest, having them all the same gender makes sense in that way.
Okay.
And of course, that same gender is male, because that's the default, right?
Yeah, because obviously everyone hates women, so duh. But yeah, okay, so that's a perfectly reasonable explanation. And like they say, the last game was all female. This is not sexism.
Actually, no, but really also yes. Like, no, seriously, how can you contradict yourself like this shit? I'm anywhere else but social justice wankers. Have you ever seen people contradicting themselves in their same sentence?
Not often.
Like, look, and of course the same gender is male because that's the default, right? Actually, no, but really also yes. Pulitzer level writing.
That's not them. Yeah, okay, it's shit writing. Don't get me wrong, but that's not them making a mistake. You know what they're saying.
It's because Tabata wants to tell a boys will be boys story, male as default. Boys will be boys? Is there some kind of gender bias bingo card he's trying to fill out here? I'm an English woman, damn it, and I get to judge Japanese people. By the way, support multiculturalism. Don't worry, Tabata thinks the time will tell. The unheard stories of boys fighting monsters and camping in tents is now. They already made a story about women. So the story about women was heard. Can we not hear the story about boys now? No.
Yeah, what's the problem? There is just literally no problem here at all.
It's almost like communism, workers of the world unite. Like once all the workers will be equal, then we don't need a government. But we never get to that point, we never reach that position. And it's the same thing, when women aren't oppressed, then we can hear stories about boys. But we're never reaching that point where women aren't oppressed.
Yeah, your entire fucking livelihoods are often invested in the idea of women being oppressed. I don't think you're ever going to turn around and say, you know what, okay, we're there now.
Thinking of...
Women are equal now. We can stop with all this. It's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
8 years of liberals running universities, right? The deans, all the professors, progressives. 8 years of people in government being progressives, like Obama and, like in the Americans. The press, extremely progressive. And rapes are still up. Women are still oppressed. There's still 1 out of 5 women raped on university campuses. Like, how? When are they going to say, you know what, you're not the people for the job?
How have you been so bad at this?
You're a shit at the job. Your heart is in the right place, but you're shit.
Democrat cities where they're like, yeah, the Republicans are racist. Look at all these Democrat cities that the cops are all terribly racist in there. All the black people are impoverished and all this. It's like, it's you guys though. The Republicans didn't do that.
Yeah. Do you know the story of the little engine that could? Yeah, you're the little engine that couldn't. Like,
Yeah, exactly. They didn't cause that problem. You can't pin that on them. It's not fucking. Sorry. Anyway, come on.
yeah, so get off the stage, you fat fuck. I mean, honestly,
Exactly.
explain it to someone else.
Anna, come on, tell them what.
Or here's a revolutionary idea. You could put a female character or two go nuts in the mix, who isn't there solely to function as romantic involvement and is just as much a platonic part of the gang as everyone else. Okay, these people, they don't understand human interaction. Like, if you take 4 boys and you put a girl, they will act differently.
They absolutely will act differently.
I mean, they're so clueless, how human functions. Because they put philosophy first. That's the most important thing. Philosophy first, reality second.
Yeah. It's silly. It's just like it's ideologues. But
Boys,
I know. I mean, with this, how much of this is just virtue signaling, though? This particular one.
all of it, virtue signaling and clickbaiting.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like,
this is just them. Honestly, I really think the virtue signaling is basically reporting back to HQ or something. we've lost the Final Fantasy franchise. We've lost it. And the thing is, when the Ghostbusters thing was done, I read this feminist article. They're like, "Please be good. Please be passably good." Like this was a battle in the culture war that they wanted to win, And it's just like, okay, if you guys are going to plan it like this, could you at least just declare it? Just say that you actually are fighting for the culture, so then everyone knows, rather than all the smoke and mirrors calling you names bullshit.
yeah, no, it really is that. But I really like it when you make it like a war zone. Like report back to HQ. You should make a segment about this. It's funny as hell.
It's how it is. They don't think of it like standard interactions. They're thinking of it in a strategic manner.
We've lost the Final Fantasy franchise.
Yeah, they are. I mean, literally, in the logs they were.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, if this was something bad, you would think no one would play it.
Yeah.
Also, hey, you're the only one making this game. You can make the characters act however you want. Like, yeah, you can, but then it's unrealistic. Like, if there would be like a gorgeous woman there, you'd ask yourself, why is no one of the guys trying to hit on her? Why is no one trying to impress her? This isn't how guys act in real life.
These men are basically eunuchs. That's what they want in their games.
Are they castrated or something?
Yeah.
And by the way, girls act differently if there's a guy there. Like if you would take, a group of 4 girls and you would put one of these guys in, they would act differently than if they were just girls.
Yeah, they would.
But even in real life, guys curse a lot. They make nasty jokes and whatnot. The moment a woman walks in, they're outstanding individuals. Now I don't know how it is in Britain, but in Eastern Europe is different.
Same thing, man. It's just the dynamics of having a woman in a group of guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the mommy is here. We need to.
No, not just that. A lot of the time, it's like the guys are now competing for attention.
Yeah. Don't you want your male characters to change their behavior if there's a woman in the group? Don't change their behavior. Pretty simple, if you ask me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, okay. So why should they do this? This is what I don't understand. Why should they change the story? Like, how is this benefiting the game? Is more people going to play them? More? Are they going to make more money out of it? Is it going to make a better gaming experience? Like, no. It's just.
This is what I mean. It's about control. They view that as being part of their domain. Have an all-female thing, then it must be feminist. You know
what pisses me the most about this shit? The person who wrote this, right? Dan Van Winkle. This is. He's garbage. He does nothing for humanity. All he does is he sits his fat ass at the computer and does the clickety-clack, right? Yeah. While the guy who makes Final Fantasy, the developer, actually brings entertainment to millions of people.
That's true.
Like, this guy is an objectively better human being. He creates jobs for people. He pays like a lot more taxes.
You're now going to go Anna Kasparian on him and be like, "You're garbage."
He
I'm
is
better than
garbage.
you.
He is
Are you
garbage.
better than him? That's
No,
the
I'm
question.
not. But the guy who made this game is better than him.
Oh, is he? Should he go down and go, "You're garbage"?
And all he does is like criticize them. And not only that, it's not the fact that he criticizes that pisses me off. It's the fact that he calls him a sexist. It's the fact that he calls him a misogynist. You know, like he's non-human. He is human scum. And obviously me, the writer, I'm the righteous person here.
Yeah, I am sick of these fucking people being so self-righteous.
You really need to start going. I'm right. Because if I'm Anna, you can be Cheng. So. That Gamergate was right about everything. I had this link and page.
It practically was, though. It, like, if you actually look at the things, it really was.
All the alt-right invaded geek culture.
Oh, really? Is Gamergate? Of course, Gamergate's all right. What am I going to say?
This is the best. It's written by the independent.cuck. Is this an interesting news story? News website? Is it Prestige?
Oh, the Independent used to be very good, and then it became very SJW.
Okay, look how progressive it starts. Star Trek gave television audience their first interracial kiss.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know, it's like this isn't something that I even knew until a couple of years ago when they started praising it. It's like, if someone would ask me, what do you think about Star Trek? Oh, the Klingons, the Borg, yeah, really, really cool, really great. You know, Captain Picard, yeah, Jean-Luc. And then I was like, if you ask these critics, Star Trek, the first kiss, the first interracial kiss, that's what they get out of this shit.
It is weird though that they focus on that, and I mean, a lot of like they said the other day, like a lot of what they talk about with the other genders and stuff are just really sort of personality traits. They're not really like, you know, anything cohesive beyond that. And so it's like, you know, like I'm what sort of like, you know, sometimes sexual or something. It's like, yeah, what kind of everyone is, for fuck's sake, you know. Sometimes people don't want to fuck. What the fuck? Who cares? I don't care that you need a label for this. Like, it's not a thing that I give a shit about. Shut up.
Really, you don't watch Star Trek for the first interracial kiss?
Unbelievably, that's not why I watched.
You do not have that clip.
No, I had no idea. Actually, I didn't know that was the case. That's, you know.
I have that clip on my screensaver, mate. I'm so progressive.
You are fucking progressive.
On my phone, you know, when it goes off, it has like the first interracial kiss picture. Star Trek gave television the first interracial kiss, and it was in 1968. And Gene Roddenberry's vision of mankind's future continued to champion progressive ideas for many decades. Today's geek culture, by the way, it's like a really communist utopia.
Yeah, it is. They don't have money.
They don't have religion.
Yeah, probably not.
They don't have borders.
There are religions in Star Trek, aren't there?
Not for the humans. The humans are atheists.
Are they all atheists, are they?
Yeah,
okay.
humans and Vulcans, I think they're atheists. But, you know, that's the idea of multiculturalism, you know. Like, humans are atheists, but they tolerate other religions.
Yeah. Okay, carry
on. Today, geek culture, quote unquote, why is geek culture in quotations, is more diverse than ever, reflecting audiences' hunger for a better world where the Ghostbusters can be women, and even Miss Marvel can be a Muslim.
For those, even Miss Marvel can be a woman. So yes, it's an amazing future we live in.
Not to mention the fact that geeks actually didn't watch Ghostbusters, like the cinemas were empty.
Yeah, nobody watched Ghostbusters.
Even in Romania, mate. Like in Romania, we don't get the what's it called, the gender bullshit, right? We don't get the critics and the whatnot. And when I went to the cinema, there was no one going to the Ghostbusters. I did not go there. I went to a different movie, but you know, I just walked past the hallway where
everyone said about Ghostbusters. I didn't go. I went to a different movie.
It was astonishing, right? And also, Miss Marvel can be a Muslim. Does she go, like, if someone electrocutes her, is there like a villain with the electrical powers? If he electrocutes Miss Marvel, does she go like?
No idea, but like, how is it relevant? Why is she going to start talking about her religion? Why is that going to come up?
I don't know. Well, you know, sometimes it's like
It's Marvel. So let me tell you about the Quran. Oh,
no. Do you know how they do it? Because I actually read this shit.
go on.
Do you know sometimes someone gets shocked and goes like, "Oh my God"? She goes,
Yeah,
"Oh Allah." I'm not kidding you.
brilliant. That's the laziest fucking thing in the world.
Perhaps inevitably, that growing diversity has met with a backlash. I like how they say growing diversity. I mean, they realize it's not something coming naturally.
They're
Like
talking about the borders of their ideology.
yeah, it's basically like something they enforce, that they
Yeah.
create. It's not something that would grow naturally.
Yeah, they're talking about their imperium over other lesser ideologies. Honestly, that's what it is.
Recently, there was much debate surrounding the cult horror about H.P. Lovecraft becoming the face of the World Fantasy Award due to his well-documented racism. No. This is something that really pisses me off. They would take something.
Racism.
No.
Stop being such a well-documented racist.
No, but here's the thing, right? They would take a piece of art, because let's be honest, H.P. Lovecraft is really amazing. Like if you read the lore and you're with the universe, it's really good written.
Yeah, I had like audiobooks of like everything he'd written.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
It's good stuff, right? But they take the guy, the person who wrote it, the author, and if they deem that he is persona non grata, then his work needs to be shit.
This thing, I had no idea he was a racist. I just had no idea, and it doesn't. I mean, I don't see why that changes the quality of his work.
I don't care. It's like Michael Jackson was a pedophile. Yeah, okay, but his songs were great. Like I like listening to.
But
his
I don't think Michael Jackson was. I think it's all been a big smear campaign. Like I think he was a result of like an early Gamergate, basically.
You know, let's assume for the sake of conversation that he liked to booger little boys. I don't care. Like, his work, his music is really good. On the opposite, they do the reverse as well. They take someone who's a hack who can't write for shit, and they promote him just because, you know, he's progressive. Like his book is really bad or his work is really bad, but since he is championing progressive ideals, they will promote that person. Mm-hmm. And I can't stand it. This is the community building is what they're doing there. I mean, communism, it was the same.
We kind of do the same thing in our community, though. You know, because I mean, people feature other people's videos on their channels to help them out. You know, because they know it's someone with good content or something. So we do it as well. Everyone does do that. It's not like a
but hold on. It's a difference. If I would be elected in a jury to give a prize to someone like for the best YouTube video, I wouldn't give it to you or, you know, to a friend of mine. I would actually look at the competitors. I would look at their videos and I would give it to the person that's most worthy of it.
Yeah, but what if my video was the best one?
Then I would give it to you. That's
you've already just said you wouldn't.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't based on the fact that you're friends with me.
Yeah, I know.
Right? That's what I want.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh well, I don't care who else gave it to me, but Sargon did. Yeah. So, or I would try to distance myself. I'd be like, I can't compete here because Sargon is competing.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, but I know these people have a burden of sort of a duty of care of what they're doing because they actually have power over others.
Yeah, and it's the thing with the Hugo Awards. It's like there's a lot of people being conned. It's like this is a really good book, and then you read the book and it's like, well, this is not good. It's mediocre.
This is full of gender nonsense. Why are they talking about nothing but his race? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and then you look, it's like, oh, it's written by a black woman. Oh, this is why she won the prize. You know, because she's black and she's progressive. This is what people used to do in history, by the way, because I studied a little bit during the law at how art critics used to be in the past. And if you came from a rich, wealthy family, your book would win and it would be promoted. While if you were like from an impoverished family, someone that wasn't of noble blood, they would mock your book. They would mock your work.
Yeah. There has always been this sort of nepotism. I don't know. I guess kind of like classism, I suppose.
It used to be about classism. Now it's about ideology, I guess.
Yeah, but it's just the group, isn't it? You know, it's just like right.
So anyway, H.P. Lovecraft had racism. His passionate fans, most of who have never experienced racism, ask why such historical oppression even mattered anymore.
Those ignorant bigots, they must have been racists.
I mean, do you honestly like do this when you read the book for the first time? Do you look at, okay, who's the author? This guy. Let me read his biography first. Is this something that normal people do?
Well, I mean, I don't. But I mean, it seems that these people fucking do.
These debates between genuine fans of geek culture have in recent years attracted the attention of the alt-right.
Dun, dun, dun.
The movement is a nebulous online community whose values are almost indistinguishable from the far-right racism and sexism of Europe, National Front, or America's Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux. Well, it is distinguishable. Like the Ku Klux Klan didn't hate the Jews. The far-right.
Were they pro-Jews, were they?
They weren't pro-Jews. I never heard about the Ku Klux Klan say negative things about the Jews.
No, I didn't either. It never occurred to me to think.
Yeah. Now you can differentiate them. You know? What do you think about the Jewish problem?
Yeah. Exactly. And if they're just like, build an oven around Ben Shapiro, it's like, okay, well, fair enough. I know your position on it now. So,
yeah, you're all right then. You know. What do you think about the nigger? Yeah, we hate them. What do you think about the Jews? They're okay. You're KKK.
Easy. KKK wish they had sort of alt-right power at the moment, I tell you. They fucking wish.
They openly call for ethnic purity. Believe in the inferiority of women. Well, actually, I'm going to defend the alt-right here. They do sort of believe in ethnic purity. I mean, they don't want black people to fuck off, but they would want to have like the right to choose to only live with white people if they want. Like it's like, let's say, put into a paper, I require a roommate and he needs to be white.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a minority within the alt-right that are like, the white nationalists and stuff. So they hold the more sort of hardcore views on that. But yeah,
they want black people to fuck off to Africa.
Yeah. There are definitely like small groups of people who think that. I don't think they're the majority though. So.
Yeah, I don't either. Because then, like, if you have that line of thinking, then white people should fuck off to Europe, and like, or you would have to get the white people from Africa into America.
Yeah, most people are just happy to mock. Most people don't like have an agenda like that.
No, because I'm curious, like, how can you support such an ideology? It's like if Africa would say, we're going to send America all of your white people back. If your ideology is that racial purity and whatnot, you will have to take them. Like, you would not be able to say no without being a hypocrite then. And there's like millions upon millions of white people in Africa, and you like have to open your borders to get them in because they're white people.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna call it a day, man, because we've been doing this for quite a while.
Oh yeah, okay.
Go get a drink and some food and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been interesting.
I'm sorry for not talking about the logs, but I really can't do it at the first read.
We saw them colluding and conspiring and plotting against their political enemies. We saw them.
What are you talking about? They called you a moderate.
Yeah, but they were still trying to get my fucking Patreon unfunded. And yeah, they would bring each other in and conspiring and acting in a very, very suspicious manner. Like, don't want to say anything I shouldn't in a different chat or something. It's like, holy shit, what are you doing? But yeah, so yeah, I honestly, I'm confident that our characterization of them wasn't just like not it was totally accurate. It wasn't actually far enough. They were actually worse than we fucking thought.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, we knew back then as well, like there were leaks of Randy Harper and Zoe Quinn, saying that she posted things on 8chan, to get people.
Nothing this conclusive,
Yeah, I'm shocked that it took this much for them to have the logs being made public, and I'm also shocked that they were talking about it so openly. It's like anyone could have been in that IRC channel. Yeah, I guess they knew that they had the press on their side, so they didn't.
Yeah, but they obviously trusted each other, and I think it's like the sort of almost like a suicide pact. It's like, look, if one of us goes down, we all go down. So we all know who we're working for and what we're not going to do, or what we're working for even. So yeah, I think there was like quite an intense dimension to it, to be honest. But Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's been interesting, man. Thanks for joining me.
By the way, before we go, I want to make it clear for the people in the chat, I'm not in a hospital.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay, right? My character in Cyberpunk, he is the one in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm not in a coma.
Yeah. He's, yeah. That's it.
My Twitter feed was filled with get well soon messages.
Yeah. It's not real. Anyway, speak to you later, man.
Yeah,
Take it easy, everyone.